Hey, folks. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello.
Yeah. What's up? How's everybody doing?
It's Wednesday. What day is it? It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. It feels like
night.
a Friday to me. It feels like a Friday to my brain.
It feels like a Monday, so I'm,
Well, I think
happy about it.
Part of the reason it feels like a Friday to me is it finally happened.
It did. This was the moment that Patrick and I have been waiting for quite some time.
We finally got the first look at Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon, which I truly believe in my heart of hearts is going to be the best show of the fall season. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not being facetious.
Yeah. So let's take a moment to tell people about your other favorite shows.
So I also really enjoy Westworld, and I really like Game of Thrones. I also am a big fan of Girls on HBO that ended. So I kind of feel like Young Sheldon's in that territory.
So, well, it is a move away from the. Let's get rolling, and then start this discussion under it. And in the chat, please let us know if you want more Sheldon or less Sheldon in the mix. I'm going to be listening here on this monitor, but it's a little confusing because there's a delay, so I might pop these out of my ears. So let's get started on our first viewing of the Young Sheldon trailer. I'm going to go ahead and grab this.
I hope you're ready for this. No one's ready for this.
It's perfect. Okay, so we've got our first playthrough of the Young Sheldon first look coming to CBS soon.
So right here, this is just Big Bang Theory. This is a classic Big Bang Theory setup.
Yeah.
Sheldon is proud of a math equation that relates to space or something.
Theoretical physics is Sheldon's major. So this... we are doing 200 minutes of this trailer here. We should start a timer. Do you have a timer?
I'm going to get a timer going.
Let's run a timer. We apologize for the delay starting the stream because we had a little bit of difficulty. Pardon me. Yeah, we had a little bit of difficulty deciding whether or not we could or should do the stream.
There was a long discussion.
And the conclusion is that we should do the stream. We talked it over with with our superiors, and we decided that we think it's really worth it. And we're doing it for 200 minutes because this is really sort of a work of art, in my opinion, up there with things like The Godfather 2. And The Godfather 2 is 200 minutes long, so I wanted to see if this 5-minute preview of the Young Sheldon television show could stand up to the best stuff out there.
Also, The Godfather 2 is the best Godfather in the franchise, and Young Sheldon is better than The Big Bang Theory, just based on these 5 minutes.
So part of this experiment for me is based on an experience I had in GameStop, where, and this is just occurring to me now.
Were you working at GameStop or were you just visiting?
I was working at GameStop for a few years after I graduated from college, and in a GameStop, there's this sort of in-shop entertainment running on the screen behind you, where it's, hosts talking about upcoming video games, ads, short clips from music videos, and things like that. And in ours, there was a clip of the television show The Big Bang Theory, the show that this is a spin-off of. But the unusual thing about my particular store was our data connection was never established from GameStop Central. So for the entire 10 months that I worked at that GameStop, it was the same 30 minutes of programming on loop.
Yep.
Every single day that I was at GameStop. So I intimately know one episode or one 3-minute segment of a Big Bang Theory episode.
Do you remember what the episode was about? Can you recall it, or is it just a blur at this point?
It's sort of a blur at this point. It was the...
Which kind of describes the Big Bang Theory in general. I mean, I've seen about a season, give or take, of the Big Bang Theory, and I can't tell you what the individual episodes were about, but I remember things like Bazinga, which is what the phrase on T-shirts now, and the cat song. But I'm being 100% serious, people. I'm not making fun of this. I do not like the Big Bang Theory. I am excited for Young Sheldon. I'm really into network family sitcoms, and this is kind of the perfect formulaic family sitcom.
Yeah, so it's got the narration of a show like the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Are we running a timer yet, by the way?
We are running a timer.
Okay.
Yeah, we're sitting at 2 minutes and 14 seconds, so only 197 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay,
to go.
so some people in the chat were saying, why is this the only place to see this trailer? Actually, if you go to the CBS account, you can see it. Can you verify that for me? Because I just want to make sure that we're not breaking embargo on a trailer here.
No, CBS dropped all these trailers today. To give you, I can confirm that right now. I'm actually looking at it, yes. See, this is on CBS's channel. It's Young Sheldon - First Look, or you can just go to CBS. You're not going to get the great commentary you're going to get with Pat and I, nor are you going to be able to see it 200 times. I guess with
not
200 times. Sorry,
200 divided
minutes.
by 5.
Sorry, yes, that math.
So our first viewing, this is actually my second or third viewing of the trailer. I went into it expecting something. You knocked over your Wendy's cup there.
I know.
I went into it expecting something a little bit more. Let's keep you right choked up on that microphone.
There we go.
A little bit more like a trailer, like a teaser, like sort of a highlight reel of like the best goofs from the show. But what they've given us is really sort of a cut down version of a full episode. So we really get a full taste here of Sheldon's family, his home life, his school experiences, and we also see the narrative arc of this episode where it starts off. He doesn't want to touch his father's hand. He's not getting along well with his father, and then he sort of has this emotional connection with his father, where he realizes that his father has sort of been going through some of the same things he's been going through.
And as we just saw, wants to touch his hand.
He overcomes his earlier trepidations about human-to-human contact, and we have a nice narrative arc. And if that's what we can hope for from future episodes of Sheldon, Young Sheldon on CBS, I think we're in for a treat.
Look at that face. I mean, that's just an adorable face. I was talking about this earlier with my boyfriend because I was very excited, and I was like, "You need to watch this trailer immediately. This is going to be the show of the fall," and he did not care for it, and we are no longer dating because of this reason. But he said, "Oh, it's got that typical upfront." Oh, so yeah, to explain what's going on, this week is called the upfronts, and essentially every network is trying to sell their programming to advertisers. And although this doesn't need to be sold, just to put it in perspective for you guys, The Big Bang Theory currently sits at anywhere between 10 and 20 million live viewers a week, which is more than the NFL, more than the NBA. It is the #1 watched show on television, followed by, I believe, The Walking Dead when that's on. So they don't need to sell this, but this is why this trailer is coming out now. The show, The Big Bang Theory, is going into its 10th season, so they're looking to end it, I would assume, probably in another year or two. And they want to continue making money, CBS. They're a network of smart people, and this is a perfect way to keep it going.
And so they're trying to build a lasting legacy around the brand of Big Bang Theory by introducing us to Young Sheldon and his family, and potentially down the line we could see spin-offs from this show. We could spend some more time with Young Sheldon's sister, his mother. We could see earlier days of his father. His father's a football coach. Maybe him playing football in the 1970s in the segregated South.
His mother would be a great one because his mother's in The Big Bang Theory, played by Laurie Metcalf, who is returning to another network. Here, I'm going to give you a little bit of fun trivia for you, who is returning to another network for another returning show called Roseanne. She's returning for Roseanne because television has run out of ideas, and they just keep rebooting things that don't make sense. But Young Sheldon has heart, and that's more than I can say for many of the shows that were shown this week.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it. This is adorable. This is equivalent to the Goldbergs that's on TV right now, but even cuter. Look at that family room. This is a nice family drama. You could watch it with your grandmother, or while you're babysitting a niece or nephew, or if if you're like me, on a Thursday night when you have nothing going on.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm having a great time here. A couple notes we're getting from our staff is that the green screen behind us is a little bit visible. I might get up and fidget with that in just a second here. But one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was watching this trailer once through without our commentary. So we're going to do that after this playthrough, just so everybody can have a sort of jumping off point for the analysis we're going to be providing. And here's where Sheldon points out that he can see a girl's bra through her shirt, and that his teacher has a little bit of a mustache. Are you worried that the joke that Sheldon does not pick up on social cues will play itself out a little bit too quickly in the single camera format?
I thought it was going to play itself out in the first season of The Big Bang Theory, and that has gone on for 9 additional seasons. I think to The Big Bang Theory writers' credit, again, I will say I do not like the show, but to its credit, they kind of understand how to work with a character like Sheldon, and so I feel like they'll know how to do similar things with a younger Sheldon. But again, he is adorable. There's people in the YouTube comments saying that you don't like his face, which is mean
rude.
to
Yeah,
me.
it's really
He's
rude.
adorable.
It's a rude thing
He's
to say to a child.
Like, he's got a cute face and he's making millions of dollars while making it. So kudos to him. But no, I think it'll be okay.
Vulcan, the Primarch, says Sheldon is a snitch.
Wow.
That's, again,
I mean, it's not inaccurate.
a rude assessment. Well, it's true.
He did snitch. But he's also like 9 years old. This is like Doogie Howser. No one ever called Neil Patrick Harris things. I think. I wasn't alive, but I don't think anyone said mean things to him.
I think people were probably pretty rude to him back in the day. I think we're probably
cute.
just...
And he grew up to be Neil Patrick Harris, beloved television personality.
Icon, yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about the casting for Sheldon's dad?
I mean, here's the thing: is like they're trying to get so far away from him. It's the classic dad does not understand son. This is
Sorry, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but Joel Jessup says this should have been called The Small Bang Theory, which is a very good name for the show.
it's a great. It's not wrong. I mean, we're gonna watch this trailer with you guys in a couple of seconds. I think there's about 30 seconds left. It's not wrong. It's basically The Big Bang Theory, but just with a much cuter kid who's much more innocent about the world around him. He's just as excited about the possibilities of things, and the difference being he actually wants to connect, as we're seeing again with this hand. He definitely wants to connect with humans, which is more than you can say for The Big Bang Theory, in which he never connected with people.
So that arc for him was never completed on the television show The Big Bang Theory?
As far as I'm aware, apparently, and those who, spoiler alert, I guess, for Big Bang Theory watchers, but I guess, oh, wait, we're going to stop because we're going to watch it with you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to watch this one from the beginning. I'm going to turn the sound up a little bit for you, and we will try to remain silent throughout this viewing.
We're going to be very quiet.
Of Young Sheldon, the preview.
Well, hello. Hush falls over the crowd as Cooper studies the board. He makes his move, and he solves the equation. The crowd goes wild. No bell, no bell. Howard, flashback sounds. I've always loved trains. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. In fact, if my career in theoretical physics hadn't worked out, my backup plan was to become a professional ticket taker or hobo. And when I figured out that trains allowed me to prove Newton's first law, I felt like Neil Armstrong on the moon, alone and happy.
Shelly, dinner's ready.
Hey, what are you doing out there?
George, language.
What language?
I was exploring dimensional kinematics. Admit it, he's adopted. How can I be adopted when I have a twin sister? Think, monkey. Think.
That's enough. Now let's pray.
A moment, please.
Leave him be.
He can hold hands with his family. It won't kill him.
We don't know that. Did you wash your hands for dinner?
None of your business.
Hence the mittens.
Thank you, God, for this food we are about to receive, and bless the hands that prepared it.
Amen.
Everybody excited to start school Monday?
How can I be excited when he's gonna be in the same grade as me?
Don't worry, Georgie. I'm not planning on being in the 9th grade for very long.
All I know is he's not in the same grade as me anymore, and I'm thrilled.
Good luck with your finger painting.
You're gonna get your ass kicked in high school.
Hey!
Ow!
Don't you throw something at the dinner table, George!
Jane Goodall had to go to Africa to study apes. I just had to go to dinner.
You understand that some people are going to be intimidated by you because of how smart you are?
Or maybe they'll recognize my intellect and make me their leader.
Lord, look after my son. Don't let him get stuffed in a gym bag.
Oh, dear.
You doing okay?
I guess. Hey, Mom, look, that girl's pregnant.
Congratulations.
All right, everybody. I'm sure you're all aware we have a student with us who is remarkably gifted. Yes, Sheldon?
This boy's hair is too long. This boy is wearing sports attire outside of a designated area, and this girl's blouse is diaphanous. which means I can see her brassiere. Also, in violation of the grooming code, you have a bit of a mustache.
This boy does not belong in our school.
5 minutes into my math class, he questioned my credentials.
He said I was intimidated by his intelligence.
Oral Roberts University is a wonderful school.
Why would you entertain evil thoughts?
I don't think this part applies to me. Shh. I'm only 9 years old. Most evil doesn't start till puberty.
How about we lose the bow tie?
Why?
Look around, honey. No one else is wearing one.
Perhaps I'll start a fad.
Why can't we watch DuckTales?
Because we don't learn anything.
It's TV. We aren't supposed to learn.
When we get home, I'm gonna kick your little balls. You can't. They haven't descended yet. Mom?
What?
When should I be expecting my testicles?
What is wrong with him? Nothing is wrong with him. Now turn around before I knock your lights out.
Hello.
And for the record, they descended when I was 15.
Go play.
There. I played. Hey!
You're not going to make it in this school if you keep ratting people out.
But they were breaking the grooming codes and the dress codes. I saw one boy with a t-shirt that said, "Bite me."
Yeah, that's terrible. Did you ever wonder why we moved from Galveston to Medford?
I tend to wonder about the bigger questions.
Okay, well, here's why. Your dad had a real good coaching job, and I saw some grown-ups breaking rules.
And you told on them?
You know what happened?
Justice descended upon the rule breakers?
I got fired, Sheldon.
Dad? Are you sad that you got fired?
Mostly angry.
No man is bigger than the next.
But yeah,
Oh, but most of all,
maybe a little sad.
don't lose your love.
All right, let's say grace. Thank you, God, for this food we are about to receive and for the nourishment of our bodies, and bless the hands that prepare it. Amen.
Amen.
That was the first time I held my father's hand. I wouldn't touch my brother's hand until 17 years later, thanks to the invention of Purell.
Wherever I go, your footprints follow.
So that was our third viewing of the.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we're at 3.
Welcome back, folks. If you're just tuning in, we'd love for you to go on this journey with us. We are watching the Young Sheldon trailer for 200 minutes, which is the length of The Godfather 2, one of the greatest films of all time.
Hands down.
So thank you for jumping in on us with this. That was our third viewing. We've been at this for 15 minutes. We're going to try to keep it up for the full 200 minutes. I've brought a beverage in case I get thirsty. We do have some snacks. We'll make sure we turn the microphones off for snack time.
We have real crunchy chips.
Yeah, we don't want to get too crunchy on you.
Yeah.
Having watched it again now, Julia, with the sound on so we can absorb.
So this is for 15 minutes at that point.
Yeah.
Total. Yeah.
How are you feeling about Young Sheldon at this point? Because I have some new thoughts, but I'd like to check in with you to see where you are.
So besides that terrifying jump that he does just then, which makes him look like Pennywise, like a young Pennywise in training from It, I love Young Sheldon. He's just so cute. He just wants to do the right thing. He wants everyone to abide by the rules. He wants to know about himself, and he wants to be understood. And he's not someone who can't be understood.
Sure. So he is a young man who has difficulty with social cues. He's also a very intelligent man, but he's book smart, which is the interesting thing to me. So what I want you to help me get my head around is where this kid picked up his interest in theoretical physics. Is he literally just, sitting in the library reading books, absorbing this knowledge, or do you think that there is some sort of presence in his life that is giving this to him? Because his dad's a football coach, his mom's a stay-at-home mom.
And his brother's clearly not interested in physics whatsoever.
Yeah.
Although super into his brother kind of feels like the Kirk Cameron in this. You never watched Growing Pains, right?
Growing Pains. No, I never saw Growing
Pains is a great show. Everyone should watch it. It stars a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. But the thing about that, it's very similar to this. So his older brother is someone he can't really look up to. But Sheldon says at the beginning of this trailer, he says, "Oh, if it wasn't for my interest in physics, I would have gone into working with trains." But he realizes he could combine his love for the both of them.
Yeah.
The question I'm more interested in is why does he like trains so much? I always wonder this. People who really like planes, why?
Planes, trains,
And automobiles.
And automobiles, great film. We all have things that we are fixated on, and Sheldon seems to get particularly fixated on things. And he announces at the beginning that his thing is trains. Is that a theme that runs throughout The Big Bang Theory, a show which I have not watched?
No, but I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about, some of the things between Sheldon here and what we've seen in this trailer.
Yeah.
And the one thing we have not heard, I want to get your opinion on this.
Yeah.
No bazingas.
Good, excellent point. No do you think this show is going to end with the first bazinga?
I think it needs to address the origin of the word bazinga. This is the question that has been haunting Big Bang Theory fans, I assume, for years.
Yeah.
Just a disclaimer, we do not really watch The Big Bang Theory. They might explain where it started. But I would like to see young Sheldon address it. Like maybe he's just having a real good day at school, snitching on everyone. He's like, "Hey, I got you. Bazinga."
So how about this? What if at the end of each episode he makes a new attempt to come up with his catchphrase, and it's always just a little bit off of bazinga? Until like maybe the season finale when he finally overcomes his like sort of greatest personal toil. That is when he unleashes bazinga for the first time. So for like the end of the third episode, he's badoinkus, and like Badunga.
It's always with a B though.
Scram-a-lam. Well,
you want to go scram-a-lam?
I think it could be really any 3-syllable.
It's gotta be weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gotta be like could you use a Z? Could you do something like?
Sorry, we got some great suggestions in the chat.
Okay, we got.
Shit.
Blazing Data Gata Gata is great. Shuriken Deadbeat, that's great.
Sorry, person whose username is just a long sequence of letters and numbers has got a Borsbaz / says Blor.
Bazingo, come on, Ace the Heart. That's too.
Blorpiba.
Bazingo doesn't really work.
Tess says Bazorpo.
Bart Zinga's good. Bart Zinga. If the McElroys were here, they'd be super into Bart Zinga.
Burbiglia, which is a great tribute to good old Mike. Mike Burbiglia.
Thomas T, I'm gonna try to read yours. Bizzer Pazorp. I like it. Kind of sounds like he's struggling through an actual word. Although the one underneath that is perfect. I think Bethesda is
That's really good.
It's a great. Maybe he's the founder of Bethesda in this alternate universe.
Yeah,
could be.
We've got Bang Dongs, Bandari, Bajinga, Baz,
Dork,
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, guys, is real.
Binyonia.
Can't use real places. You could.
Bangdongo, Encyclopedia.
Brazzers, I should say that's good.
Burb's ankle.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. That's great.
He should say that at the end of one of the episodes. Brat is possibly my favorite Sean Brat is very good.
You guys should email these to CBS. Networks tend to take, like for late night, back in the day, they used to take suggestions from readers. Comedians could send in joke ideas. I think you should all address CBS with these ideas, to be honest.
Yeah.
These are all goals.
So this is playthrough 5 that we're starting right now. How many minutes in are we?
I'm going to tell you guys, we are sitting at 20 minutes, 28 seconds. I like that they started off with I like that in CBS's mind, there are people who are going to come to Young Sheldon having never seen The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Like they'll just experience, it's a show about a really gifted Doogie Howser style kid.
Well, that's got to be a really hard line for them to walk, is both creating a show that can endure beyond The Big Bang Theory, but also can pay tribute to fans of The Big Bang Theory. Can we just talk about how scary that is? Why does he pop out like that? I hate it.
I
think their intent was for their first reveal of him to be
disturbing.
sudden.
It's a disturbing, like he's a smart kid who just wants to play with trains, and popping out of areas is not going to land him friends or my trust.
Kieran McWilliams says Bubsy 3D would be a great thing for him to say at the end of an episode. Topanga.
Bubsy 3D. Topanga's good.
Brzinger. Brusby Burke is
Wait, when does this? Let's try to think. When does this take place? Because how old? Do we have any Big Bang Theory fans in the chat? How old is Sheldon now? Like 30 something? In his early 30s?
So somebody in the chat did point out that the actor who plays him, what's his name?
Jim something.
Jim Parsons.
Jim Parsons
is 44 years old.
Okay, so can we assume that Sheldon then is like 44? Let's just assume that he's 44. This is him as like a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
Someone do that math because I'm not going to be able to do it. So let's say this takes place just over 25 years ago, 30 years ago. It's actually more than that, but whatever. More than 30 years ago. So that would put this in the late 80s. Someone do math for me. Like
1989. It does say 1989 at the beginning.
So, okay, so this takes place. Young Sheldon. Here we go. Conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Never mind Avril Lavigne. You go to the side. Let's talk about this one. This takes place the same year Taylor Swift was born.
1989 is the name of her recent
was
album.
So
do you think is he going to be present at the birth of Taylor Swift?
I think that's exactly what this is building up to. It's like, hey, while he's snitching on people, walking down hospital corridors, being like, she's not wearing scrubs, he's like, not doing something.
Shit. Okay, hold on. Watch. Just a second here. He's going to say, that girl's pregnant.
See?
That's Taylor Swift's mom. Guest part. Taylor Swift plays her own mom. He is present for her birth. He delivers the baby
Taylor
because
Swift
he's so smart.
was born in Texas.
Are you serious?
No, or Nashville. It's one of the, let me look it up. I'm going to
Okay.
look it up. I think it was, where was Taylor Swift born? Nope, she was not. She was born in Reading, Pennsylvania, but where did she grow up? Because, maybe the teen mom had to leave because it's teenage pregnancy. Like, it was, like, there's just stuff happening. Where did Taylor Swift grow up? Nashville, Tennessee.
Which is not near
not
Texas. Not Texas.
No,
So here's a theme that is going to interest me throughout the run of Young Sheldon, is he's from a sort of white bread working class family.
Yep.
He goes to church on Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Sheldon strikes me as a militant atheist. Do you think we're going to see the development of that
We're gonna have
throughout this series?
So that's the thing. The question we have to ask ourselves is, how long is this going to go? And this is not going to go for. It's probably not going to go 10 seasons, but it's definitely going to go more than 3. So we're going to see him become a teenager, because he's like 10 years old at this point. He's going to become a teenager. When you start questioning everything, we could see it as he becomes more into science.
Yeah.
And that's going to cause a divide with his mom, who he's clearly very close to.
This show could get pretty heavy when the first time, she sees him reading a book about Darwin's theory of evolution. If she's of the more fundamentalist strain, and she sort of sees, that's
we
not
don't know
what
if
we
she's
believe.
a fundamentalist,
We
because
don't
she
know that
did
yet.
talk to her son about testicles in church.
That's true. Yeah, she is a spunky mom. She's standing up for her son.
You can't use spunky when we use the word testicles.
That's true. That's definitely true.
What if his catchphrase was "You got spunk"? Kid.
So Kiri asks, did we enjoy our Wendy's? Yes, we did enjoy our Wendy's.
Oh my God, thank you so much for asking. Yeah, we actually still have some. Like, we still have some fries down here, which we might eat later because we're disgusting human beings.
Eric says this seems so tonally different from the Big Bang Theory that it makes him uncomfortable. I do have to say, a lot of the sort of Big Bang Theory style humor that the show is throwing at us seems very strange without a laugh, in a single camera setting without a laugh track. Do you have any feelings about how the show's going to perform without a laugh track?
It's gonna. I feel like, let me just clear my throat.
Sure. Clear my throat.
Clear my throat. It's not gonna be as funny, right? And I think they know that, because when you hear people laugh, you kind of laugh. I mean, that's why. I assume the Big Bang Theory is funny, but you said Eric asked that question. Eric, if you're a fan of the Big Bang Theory, you're going to be our go-to, I think, when we ask these questions, because we just don't know, and I can only Google so fast. But the cool thing about Young Sheldon is that it is created by Chuck Lorre, so it's the same creator. So that's good for Big Bang Theory fans. Like, there will be a similar tone. He'll know what he's doing. Also, Chuck Lorre makes good family shows. Mom is like the best show that he's done in a very long time.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry. We reached the end of the trailer a while ago. I'm going to have to go ahead and restart that again.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. No, it's okay. It's hard to...
We got so caught up in our conversation.
Yeah, we got caught up in the conversation. I'd like to apologize to Jesse Burnett. He says, I can't believe you're joking over this profound moment. Polygon has no respect for the American working dad, I guess.
We're sorry for that.
Yeah, we would like to apologize.
We deeply condolences, and all that. No, Dad, I know I said that.
I do like the dad's haircut. I think it's a bold choice. Because normally you are, imagine you're casting this character and you're casting somebody who's going to be a foil to this sort of son who's a little bit, he's unusual, he's precocious, and he's in a setting, where he doesn't quite fit in because he's academic, and he's not athletic. Great choice making his dad a football coach.
It's the classic in Texas, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Friday Night Lights, Texas forever.
Football is a huge deal, and having a son that is not going to participate in football because he cares. Okay, sorry, we're going to dive down the avenue I was just talking about a second ago. Do you think there will be an episode where his expert knowledge of physics helps him in a football setting?
100%. And that is, I am not joking about this, that is a arc in every single teenage sports drama. Someone uses math at some point to figure out how to get around things. They used math in One Tree Hill to figure out how to win a basketball game.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring. I'm just going to take a question to answer, or take a second to answer a question.
Yeah.
Mars B asked, how young is this Sheldon? Good question.
9.
He's 9.
He's 9.
He's a 9-year-old
But he's in
boy.
9th grade.
So yeah, see, that's kind of cute because he's 9 going into the 9th grade. It's adorable.
The Tucker 97 says the laugh track will be introduced gradually throughout the show. It'll start with one person laughing sheepishly in the background and multiply with each episode, which I think would be so they are
accurate.
Going some theoretical sort of. They're doing some things in this series that are strange for the Big Bang Theory, and I think that would be in line with what they're doing, and I would love to see them do that for Young Sheldon on CBS.
Do you think that Sheldon ties his own bow ties, or do you think he has clip-ons? Because he keeps pulling at them, and I wonder, I've never worn a bow tie, I feel like I'm missing out. But also, can we just for a second address the kids at this high school that are just hanging around outside? The goth kids and like the kids with dreads were 100% my friends in high school.
Yeah.
We didn't hang out at the school. You weren't gonna hang out. That's the only unrealistic part about this entire show.
Especially not in front of the school in broad daylight.
No, and like they would be smoking a cigarette, These kids are rebels without a cause and suburban allowances. They're going to be in the back of the school at the very least in their like Chevrolet Cobalts. That's what I drove. No offense to anyone with a Chevrolet Cobalt.
Let's say.
Yes, I love the goths so much too. Love the goths.
Brett Reed says the term academic cannot be applied to a child unless he's being paid. That's a great point.
Oh, that is a great point.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think more like he's an intellectual. He's a learned young boy. But I could see.
He's a learned young boy. I hope so. Mags Garrett says, "I hope Sheldon's a goth." Me too. I think he's like a secret goth. Like he. What did people? What is the terms like? It's normcore goth. It's like workout goth.
A health
gym
goth.
Health goth.
Yeah.
He's probably like a health goth. It's like nerd goth.
Shy Griff says I'm dissociating. Me too. No, I'm actually just getting more and more. So I love this moment where she wants to watch DuckTales and he doesn't because that doesn't help him achieve his goal of learning. That I think is both the greatest strength of the character of Young Sheldon and his greatest weakness is that he values knowledge above all else, and he will put that ahead of enjoyment, and he'll put that ahead of relationships with other people.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be a recurring theme in the show of a thing he has to overcome.
I also love that he gets so angry, he just pushes the tire swing. Like, there's no reason for it. He doesn't do anything with it. He just pushes it and walks away.
Right. He's
brilliant.
It's performative. For him, play is performative.
I also think, like, at least as we've seen, at least I've seen in the 12 episodes of The Big Bang Theory that I watched, he doesn't get angry often. He gets witty and he gets frustrated, but he doesn't get angry. And so I feel like he's going to be the same as a kid. He just won't know how to deal with those emotions. When he gets angry, it'll be like, I'm going to push this tire swing and then walk away respectfully.
Sure.
Which is the best way for a child to react to anything.
Again, sorry, I wanted to circle back around. Several minutes ago, we were talking about casting decisions, getting the football coach dad out there, and the choice with his haircut. Because the obvious thing to do, would be giving him a high and tight, like the classic military dad haircut. And they went in sort of another direction here, which I think works to their advantage and works against them a bit. I'd say the advantage, or the good thing about it, is that it's not exactly what you expect, and it gives him an immediate sort of teddy bear quality to him, so you don't have to dig as hard to get to the sort of soft center of this large man.
Here, you're saying he's Dan Connor from the aforementioned Roseanne.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like the teddy bear father. He's got this tough exterior,
right? But
underneath, he just wants to connect with his son that he can't.
But on the other hand, if they had gone full like military grumpy looking dad, like I'm gonna send you to military school, gonna do cruel things to you to give you more character.
Right.
Those moments where he finally gets admiration when he gets to that soft core of his father would mean more.
It would mean so much more.
But on the other hand, there is a lot of value in modeling healthy home relationships, because I think we've really been fed a lot of these sort of narratives where, having, a dad with a gruff, mean exterior who occasionally gives you little nuggets of kindness.
Like chicken?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
God, I wish.
It's a good dad.
That can be kind of harmful, because those sort of relationships can be painful in real life.
Can you think of an example, not in your personal life, but in a television show where that kind of thing came up? I'm trying to think of tough dads.
Uncle Phil.
Oh, Uncle Phil's a good one, yeah.
Uncle Phil, again, is a man who clearly cares about his family. He cares about Will, his sort of surrogate son.
Definitely a surrogate son, as everyone has seen in the heartbreaking episode where, thank you, I didn't know I could extend it.
Why don't he want me?
Why don't he want me? But the difference being that he was always harder with Will, but he was always much kinder and closer with Carlton. Not because I think they were biologically related.
Yeah.
I think it's because he could connect with Carlton. He could never really connect with Will. And that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing a father who can't connect with his son, who knows football, who probably comes from a very middle class, maybe on the lower end background.
Yeah, he's a working class guy.
He's a working class guy. He has family, he has church, he has football. I mean, that is the American dream in its kind of entirety. And here is his middle child, his son, who doesn't want to do that. He wants to play with trains and talk about physics and go to and mess around with his bow tie.
Yeah.
How do you connect with that? You know what I mean?
Right. I think that journey is going to be one of the cruxes of the show. I think this is going to be one of the things that pushes the show forward for probably 5, 6, 7 seasons.
I don't think 7. I think it's got 6 seasons in it. Based on someone I've been covering TV for 4 years, 5 years. I give it 6 seasons.
Sure. How about a movie?
6 seasons in a movie. Maybe it'll take the community route. Maybe it'll go 3 seasons, get canceled, come back, then go somewhere else for the 5th season, then go to Yahoo. Maybe go to MSN. It'll just air on MSN.
Air it on MSN.
It's just MSN only for 6 episodes, and then we'll never hear about it again. And Chuck Lorre will be forever resentful.
Yeah. Do you think this series will get far enough to the point where we start looking at Young Sheldon's romances?
Well, the thing is that in The Big Bang Theory, he doesn't even really get a romance until much later in the season. Whereas Eric, if you're still here, when does Sheldon meet his girlfriend? But I think it's much later because they focus for a while on Penny and the other one who's not Sheldon, Leonard. And so they focus on them. So I don't know if they're going to do. I think we might see, I think we might see his first crush, Pat. I think we might see his first crush. Kind of coming to terms. He's clearly asking questions about testicles. He has questions about sexuality and what it is to be a man in this house with other men who are into football and stereotypical dude things.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to come into play. He's going to meet some 13 or 14-year-old girl that he develops a crush on and doesn't know how to deal with it.
Oh, and we've all been there for sure. Tell me about your first crush.
Oh, God, my first crush. I'm trying to think. When was my first? Okay, actually, I was 11 years old. It was at soccer camp. It was the best soccer camp because it was like where you just send kids who didn't want to play soccer. So we would just pretend we were sick every day, me and this group of like 8 other kids, and just lay down on the grass. And there was this dude whose name was Salvatore. I grew up in a very Italian neighborhood. And I was in love with him for 2 weeks, and then he broke my heart. And I mean, I got it over it the next, after summer ended, and I fell in love with a new boy at my elementary school.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was my first real crush. I used to go home and think about him. I was like 9, 10.
Yeah.
I was super young. Thank you, Lila Blue. Amy's first appearance was the season 3 finale. Wow, season 3, really? I thought it was much later.
So we had some interesting comments in here. The Tucker, who's been killing it in the comment section all day, thank you, the Tucker97, asks, when does Sheldon discover nerd culture? Wouldn't entertainment be a detriment to his pursuit of knowledge?
Well, we know from Big Bang Theory that, from the first 2 episodes, that he's super into gaming because he has his World of Warcraft session. He's super into comics. Yeah, what we make fun of the Big Bang Theory for. He's super into the things that, the pop culture that shaped that show. I feel like he will find friends at high school that are into the same things here. Remember when Seth Cohen founded the comic book club in the OC? Did you ever watch the OC? Okay. I was going to end the stream.
Restart the Young Sheldon trailer.
You restart the Young Sheldon trailer. But yeah, so I think that's how Seth found his friend. Not Ryan. And I feel like that's how Sheldon's gonna find. Like, I feel like he will find someone who's super into Batman, and then he will also be into Batman, or Green Lantern, or Doctor Strange, or whatever comics Sheldon is into, and they can just debate the science of that, and then he will find his way.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun subplot. Now, just to let everybody in the chat know, pardon me, I drank my iced tea a little too fast. We have been at this for
37 minutes.
37 minutes. We're going to be watching this preview for Young Sheldon for 200 minutes, which is the length of Godfather 2, one of the greatest films of since film was invented. But we are expecting a call briefly from Philip Kohler.
Are we expecting a call from Phil Kohler?
Phil Kohler, yeah. He will be calling us to chat with us about Young Sheldon. Hopefully he's been following the stream along at home, so he's prepared to discuss this with us.
And the good thing about Phil Kohler is that Phil Kohler has a very adorable son. Phil's a dad. Neither of us are parents. You have cats.
I have two cats.
Two cats.
One
I
of them
have
whom I
no
consider
cats.
my son, and the other one whom I consider
The devil.
a monster.
Yeah, right. The one that you don't like. This dad also has two sons, one that he likes and one that he doesn't like. So maybe you can relate to him more than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's. Sorry, I'm going to be preoccupied here getting set up to take Phil's call here.
Excellent.
So why don't you read some of the chat first? Or
Yeah,
just fill time
there's
as
some
you see fit.
questions. So Wampus asks, hello. Hi, Wampus. Is Sheldon autistic? I'm generally curious. I feel like they've addressed it at some point on the show. I think he has Asperger's.
I think he is canonically on the Asperger's.
Yeah, I think he's on the spectrum.
Yes,
I think that's what they've come to, that's what they've said, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe Eric, our resident Big Bang Theory expert, can let us know. But I'm going to go through while Pat is setting up for our call with Phil Kohler. It's very exciting. Let's see. Mr. Good name. Do you think this series will have the same thematic element of balls connected together as the trailer? You know what? I hope so. That's all I kind of want. I feel like if they have a testicle question every episode, then we'll be getting our entertainment's worth out of CBS. I mean, to be honest. So who knows? I kind of want more. I want to know what you guys think in the chat. Do you want more of the goths? I want the goths to have their own spinoff, to be honest with you.
Do you think Sheldon could potentially have a goth friend?
I hope Sheldon has a goth friend. I hope that Sheldon is... So it's in Mean Girls, it's Janice and Damien. I hope Sheldon is the Damien to some Janice. I hope that he finds a lovely goth girl that he can just be best friends with and dance with.
So we have some interesting questions in the chat. People are saying, what's up with the camera? That's an interesting question. So they are really committing here. Excuse me for bumping my microphone. They're really, really, really committing to the single camera thing here. They're trying to get across to us that this is no longer a studio show. This is a single camera family dramedy. So just about every shot has a slow push or zoom to it. So I'd love you all to pay close attention to that for the remainder of this trailer.
Yeah.
And actually for the remainder of the stream, which we have, what is it? We have...
We're sitting at an hour and 20 minutes left on the stream.
An hour and 20 minutes left of the Young Sheldon trailer.
So by this point in The Godfather Part 2...
Watch, ready? Slow zoom in. Steady shot. Steady shot. Steady shot. So on our next viewing, actually, we're going to pay really close attention to
we can break it down.
These zooms. Yeah, we can break it down.
Pause it.
From a cinematography. Actually, I would love. I'm going to take some notes for the things that I want to talk about.
Do you want a pen?
Playthroughs.
You want to reach over to get this pen for you?
No, I'm just going to open. I'm going to use text.
I
edit.
forgot we were on laptops.
Yeah. So we're going to do a cinematography breakdown of this trailer.
Bill Shakespeare, great name, says, do you think that a high school girl will develop a crush on Sheldon? It could be weird due to the age difference. That's a really good question. I think that it could happen. I think because it's CBS, the most that you'll see is them holding hands, maybe a kiss on the cheek. They're not going to do anything. This is not HBO. Young Sheldon on HBO, though, would be a great show. I would watch that.
Young Sheldon. So we gotta wait for him to get a little less young, and then let's move the show to HBO, and we'll see
I'm not saying with him. I just think like having. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying it just can get fun with HBO.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
God, Pat, bring it to places.
Get a little bit of violence.
Pinky says, "Hey, Pat, I want to pat you." It's a good one. It's a good one. We say that too at the office.
Yeah, it's a huge problem. Let's see what else is going on here. Okay, so here's a interesting tidbit from Pan, who is making a reference to the testicular dropping joke that happens in church in this scene. And again, if you haven't watched this with the sound up, we did that earlier in the stream. You can either jump back in the VOD and watch it there, or head on over to CBS's YouTube page and watch it there. Pan says, fun fact, most people's balls, testicles do drop during infancy. If they don't, you have to wait until you have an operation around 5 years old. Interesting fact about human biology that I had no idea about. We are bizarre creatures.
I feel like more shows should address testicles in general. I think it's an important, untalked about topic.
About undescended testicles.
I'm going to bring this up when, if I interview network executives, I will bring that up.
If you bring this up with, so if you get any, folks, I meant to introduce you a while ago.
That's fine.
A couple people in the chat ask, who's Julia? Is she a new addition? Julia is sort of a new addition on the video front.
I've been at Polygon for a year and a half at this point, maybe a little bit longer. I am an entertainment reporter, so I do all the movie, TV stuff, streaming. Yeah, I very rarely, ironically, stream with Pat and the video crew, but I love Pat and the video. Who doesn't love Pat? I love Pat and the video crew, and when we watched this trailer earlier today, Pat was like, we need to watch it again and again, and that turned into 200. I don't know how it happened, but that turned into 200 minutes of this, and I was totally down, so we decided to do it.
I would love to have you on video stuff a little bit more often. I'm having fun. It's great to have your expertise on something like this because you do, unironically, know a lot about television and how the TV world works. And speaking about the TV world, look at the classic TV meal they're eating there. It's meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and peas and gravy.
That's a good dinner.
It's both a good dinner
Solid
and it's
dinner.
also an emblematic dinner. If I was a sort of, what's the role of the person on a TV show who like fills in the sets and the props and stuff like that?
Set decorator?
Set decorator.
Yeah.
If I was a set decorator and I was like, middle America, Texas, I need a great contrast for this kid to stand out against. What are they eating at the table? It is meatloaf, it is mashed potatoes, it is peas.
We have to remember, this is in Texas. This is the all-American family, and I feel like they have to stick to that. Like, they are going to be playing some Taylor Swift. They're not, because she was just born in this era.
Yeah.
But they're going to be playing some good old country. They're going to be talking about football.
Oh, Brendan Fenimore raises an excellent point, though, about the diversity of the show. Why, so far, every character we've seen with a speaking role, except for the teacher who went to a school with a funny name, is a white person.
So I have an expertise answer for you.
Yeah.
CBS and CBS and NBC are the most criticized networks for this. For example, at the upfronts, and for those who are just joining us, I'll explain again. The reason we're getting this trailer now is because all the networks are presenting their fall scheduling, so new shows. So this week, all the shows that CBS debuted today, they were all male leads, and they believe they were like 90% white. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I was going through it earlier. This is an issue in television in general that networks keep trying to address, but it's every single year it's the same question. It's why are there not as many women, or why are there not as many black women, or why are there not as many black men, or other minorities, and it's just sad. There's no answer for it.
Where do you think Young Sheldon stands on race?
So that's a good question, and
I'm talking about the character, not the show.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The character.
I think Young Sheldon.
Will there be an episode where we address race?
I don't think so. I don't think this is the show that's going to even touch that.
Do we know if Big Bang Theory, the television show, has done that at all?
I don't think
For anything
so.
other than a cheap joke?
Eric, I'm gonna call him Eric, our Big Bang Theory expert. I don't even know if he's still in this chat, but I like the idea that Eric is hanging around to give us Big Bang Theory facts. I'm not sure if they did, but Chuck Lorre doesn't usually go into those areas unless it's Mom, which is another one of his shows, which goes into all of the discussions.
Some guy is taking some pretty heavy shots right now, saying Young Sheldon is 100% a racist.
I thought you literally meant like his name is some guy.
That's his name. His name is some guy.
That's awesome.
I think. Green Day the Beatles says Young Sheldon probably thinks white people are discriminated against. he does seem like he's going to be big into Reddit when that comes out.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Nick Allmaker, I think it's Allmaker, but I'm sorry if I said that wrong, says it has lots of jokes about the Indian friend. That's true, actually.
That's true.
And you know what? The only show I feel like that addresses that really well is Silicon Valley, where they kind of just made it a very apparent that that's what they were satirizing.
Yeah. And just again, the sweetness that they're going for here. Beautiful music playing underneath it. This show, even though it may not be, really rallying for hard progressive causes, it is, I think, trying to perpetuate some level of sweetness and kindness between human beings and families. Let's do one more watch through of this, where we're really going to look at it shot for shot and see what the camera's doing, because we know the camera's doing some interesting things.
I'm going to let you handle this, Patrick, because Patrick is a video expert, and I would also like to hear your opinion. I'm going to be in the chat with these guys.
Okay, so right now we're in our opening montage. And this is mostly footage from the previous show, which was shot, as we know, in a single camera setting. So this stuff doesn't count because this stuff is not part of the new show. Moving on from this point forward, we are going to be seeing a lot of forward zooms here. We see a very slight forward zoom in on the train track before Sheldon emerges from behind the train. There's our reveal. It's 1989.
Terrifying shot.
Once again, slow crane upwards, slow pan upwards. There's a lot of motion here. They're really taking advantage of the new format. There's a steady shot, little dolly shot there. A little bit of push focus. Nice static shot. So nothing out of the usual so far. And I think we're going to start seeing a pattern emerge here. Slow zoom, 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 no zoom. Actually, slow zoom, I'm sorry. No zoom, pull out, steady, gentle pull out, gentle pull out, gentle pull out.
Please stop saying gentle pull out.
Slow zoom, slow zoom. Slow zoom, slow zoom. Zoom out. Static. Slow zoom. Static. 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 Slow zoom. Slow zoom.
Gentle
slow
pull
zoom.
out.
It's my new band name. Pull out. Dolly shot. Slow zoom. Slow zoom. Slow zoom. They are literally slowly dollying the camera forward in 90% of the shots here. Slow zoom, slow zoom. Oh my God. Why is it doing this?
I think we just want to hear Pat say.
Dolly in. Dolly away.
Gentle pull out.
Slow zoom. Slow zoom. Static, static, static. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring chat right now. But
I got
need to
it.
pay a lot of attention here.
We're just talking about
Nice pan,
your gentle pull
nice
out.
pull focus there. Slow zoom, 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 slowly zooming. Camera zooming in, camera still zooming in.
Gently pulling.
Not gently pulling out there. Static, nice static shot for us. Another static shot, a little bit of rest. Pan, slow zoom. Even slow zooms on these graphics here. Slow zoom, slow zoom, slow zoom, slow zoom. Dolly in. I have a theory emerging right now, and then I will share you at the end of those 3 slow zoom shots.
Is it related to gently pulling out?
You gotta gently pull out. Static shot. Lovely, lovely static shot. And we'll do this again for the lighting, because we've got several views here. We're getting some really great static shots here, some good film fundamentals on display from Young Sheldon. Slow zoom, dolly over, dolly back, dolly out, dolly out, dolly in, dolly in, dolly in.
I just keep thinking of Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Static. Handheld, actually. We're seeing some motion in the shot. or maybe tripod mount with a little bit of tracking going on the fluid head. Slow zoom, slow zoom, slow zoom. Pull out, slow zoom.
But not gently.
Slow zoom again. Slow zoom. Slow zoom. Slow zoom. Slow zoom. It's the word no longer has meaning to me. It sounds like I'm just saying a magical spell, but we've had 3 or 4 more slow zooms since the last time I saw slow zoom, said slow zoom. And that is a sustained slow zoom there. Really trying to go for the emotional impact at the end of the episode, letting us really study the looks on their faces. Dolly right across the shot. Slow zoom out. Pan.
Gently
Slow zoom.
pull out.
Gentle pull out.
Oh, yeah.
Slow zoom.
Sarah McSarah says Dolly is gently pulling out.
Slow zoom.
Disturbing to me, Sarah.
Slow zoom. And there we go. So, my theory on.
Let's just give Pat a round of applause, though. That was very impressive. I'm sorry for clapping into microphone. That was. People have also used slow zoom. They've spelled it now SLOZUM as his catchphrase.
Yeah, that's his new. Yeah,
slow zoom.
Slow zoom. So my theory on why we're seeing all these slow zooms in the trailer here is it has a little bit something to do with the Big Bang itself.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the Big Bang is the idea of the constant expansion of the universe from its birth, right? All of the mass was in a super concentrated orb at some point. It became too concentrated, exploded outwards. So by constantly giving us the slow zoom, we're getting the sort of subtext of expansion. We're seeing a face grow larger. We're seeing a scene grow larger. We're seeing a family sit around a table grow larger, much like the boy himself is growing, much like the universe around us is growing. I think it all sort of works together to lead back to the theme of the show, which gave birth to this one, The Big Bang Theory. Once again, here, see, even our text is slowly moving towards the camera.
But here's my question for you. So if this is all building up to the Big Bang, with the theories that there's this Big Bang that happened, create the universe.
Sure.
Does that mean that Sheldon will quite literally self-implode?
So eventually, I mean, I think
is that how the series is going to end, with him just exploding?
So some folks early on in the chat asked when are we going to get Old Sheldon, the television series. I think that is probably when we'll start to seeing the themes of contraction.
Okay.
So we're going to see lots of slow zooms. We're going to see lots of expansion of imagery throughout this series. Then when we get to Old Sheldon, which it'll probably be in, do you think that'll run simultaneously, or do you think they'll wait till they've terminated Young Sheldon to launch Old Sheldon?
I mean, I think it would be great if it runs. Then you could have Old Sheldon cameo on Young Sheldon, and vice versa. They could have that. Remember the Family Guy episode where Stewie meets old Stewie, and he's really upset 'cause he's like a 40-year-old virgin? Mm-hmm. That could be what's happening here. I don't see why they couldn't do it.
Okay.
They have money. Yeah. But the question is, how does that play into your Big Bang Theory? Theory. I feel like we need to.
So that's what I'm saying is when we get to Old Sheldon, we're going to start to see a lot of zooming out.
Okay.
We're going to see a lot of him sitting alone at his dinner table as the camera gently pulls away.
So if it's slowly zooming out, does that mean that it's roughly
that's contraction.
Thrusting in?
That's contraction of the universe.
I just want to know if we're gently pulling out or roughly thrusting in.
We are.
What's happening with Old Sheldon?
Old Sheldon is going to do a lot of gentle pulling out.
A lot of gentle pulling out.
It'll be him sitting alone at a table, eating dinner by himself as
gently
the camera
pulling out.
Gently pulls out.
Okay.
It'll be him, eating fast food in his car alone, with the camera gently pulls out. It'll be him up late at night, browsing Reddit. Gentle pulling out of
That's
the camera
only way that
away
you
from
can
him. And
view
I think
Reddit.
that'll be really important. Because I think the end of this whole arc for Sheldon should be absolute contraction. He should withdraw into himself with such force that he once again becomes a sort of super concentrated orb of matter, much like the universe was at its birth, and much like we expect it will become later down the line. So he can reach an absolute low point before once again exploding outwards in this constant cycle of rebirth. And that for him might be death. It might be in his last moment he gives some sort of gift back to the universe, something that he's been waiting his whole life to do. Maybe he saves another life and loses his own. And once again, this expansion of the universe, the Big Bang, boom, back together, boom, back together. Anyways, I think that's my theory about this slow zooms.
This should be a proposed dissertation. I would 100%. Question for the viewers. I'm gonna say readers because I'm so used to writing. Question for the viewers: would you read a like 10,000 word thing about this from Pat? This explanation written down? Because what I'm gonna do, buddy, is I'm gonna bribe you with whiskey and chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
And get you to write it. Put it on the site.
Let's do it. So we are gonna get a call now from Phil Kohler.
Oh my God.
It might take a little bit of fidgeting because he's going to call in via Skype, and I might need to adjust the levels a little bit. So please bear with us if we have any technical difficulties here.
We're going to get a real dad. Real dad.
Okay, and that's probably him. That's probably coming through pretty loud. Sorry, Phil, can you give us one more call, please? One more time again.
We're gonna Skype. We're gonna try Skyping.
Yeah, we're gonna try Skyping.
I like the dad. Every time I watch this trailer, I kind of like him a little more. Oh, here we go.
Hey, Phil, can you hear us?
Can we hear Phil? Can you hear Phil?
Phil, buddy, can you hear us? I think we might have to end our call with Phil. We cannot hear Phil.
Oh.
That's problematic. We'll try again a little bit later. We apologize for the technical snafu there. We're so sorry, Phil. We can't hear you coming through our speakers. I think I might know the problem there, but we'll try to remedy that later. Right now, we've got to get back to Young Sheldon.
I mean, we never got away, but we want to focus all of our... I like this pause, by the way. It's just his hand hovering over. Is he going to touch it? Is he not going to touch it? Is he going to make that leap? Is he going to try to establish a human connection with his father? I think that's what the thesis of the show is. I think that's what we want to figure out. How do fathers and sons relate to each other in Texas in 1989 America? This is before a lot of things happened. This was before Friends. This was before... That's a monumental moment in history. This was before the birth of...
1989. Like you said, it was around the birth of Taylor Swift.
So I think we need to examine what Americana was like at that time.
Backup plan here. Phil Kohler is going to give me a call on my personal cell phone, and we'll put him on speakerphone.
Oh, that works.
I need to set down my laptop momentarily.
You want to give your cell phone number out to our viewers?
No, let's absolutely not do that.
I tried to do it for you guys. I tried. We are not, Josie. We're not going to pour one out for Phil because he's not dead, and he's here. He's just we're gonna get him. But I like the idea of alcohol.
We've got some requests to turn up the Young Sheldon volume, so we're gonna go ahead and give you a little bit more Young Sheldon in your ear holes.
Jack Wimbush wants to know if we're supporting characters in Young Sheldon. That would be a conflict of interest because I plan to cover this weekly.
Yeah.
So I can't criticize myself. I mean, I could.
Folks ask me if I'm trying to murder myself with web content. No. This is actually a joy for me to spend this time with my friends and you at home to discuss.
That's what Pat and I we were just going to watch
Young
this
Sheldon.
Regardless.
Yeah.
And then we thought, hey, let's watch it with a bunch of other people.
Why don't we just stream it as well? Slow zoom, slow zoom, slow zoom. Sheldon wearing his mittens. Is there anything you want to focus on in future watch-throughs of this?
I kind of want to know more about the siblings. Like, I'll ask you guys in the chat too. Do you want to know more about the siblings? I feel like we haven't focused on them, and she feels like Maggie Gyllenhaal in Donnie Darko, and I feel it.
So we got Phil Kohler.
We have
on the
Phil.
line.
Hi, can you hear me this time?
Oh, Phil Kohler's here, everyone. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Patrick. Hi, Julia. First time, long time. Big fan. Thank you for having me on the show. I just had a quick question for you guys. Obviously, I'm really excited about Young Sheldon. Everybody's really excited about Young Sheldon right now.
Yeah.
It's great to see. It's great to see the team shaking things up. Trying something new. My question for you though is why couldn't they have done one of the other characters? Why couldn't they do, young Leonard or young Raj or maybe a Howard or even a Penny? Why has it got to be young Sheldon? Who the hell's making these decisions? And what do you think of the chances of the team winning big this Sunday? I'll take my call. I'll take my answer off the air. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Phil.
Thanks for calling in, Phil.
So I think the great thing about Sheldon, as opposed to some of the the flashier style characters, he's a real lunch pail sort of Big Bang Theory character. He's about going out there. He's about getting yards. He's about making plays. He's about being in the right place at the right time. Yeah.
I think that's the secret. He's actually a football player.
So I didn't actually process a lot of what Phil said to me.
I got you. So we'll go through it. So one of the questions Phil wanted to know is why are we focusing on Sheldon, which we kind of said.
Sure.
2, he said who's in charge of these decisions. That's Chuck Lorre,
yeah, that
creator.
Would be Chuck Lorre.
That's and CBS. So Les Moonves. They're the ones who are doing it. How do we think that the team is going to do this Sunday? Well, if the team in question is Young Sheldon, I think they're going to knock it out of the park.
So when is Young Sheldon debuting?
Young Sheldon doesn't, if I remember correctly, does not have a premiere date, but will be out this fall. I think it's going on at 9 p.m. It's right after Big Bang Theory. It's going to follow Big Bang Theory on Thursday nights. On CBS.
Do you think that we're going to get into the sort of transmedia experience that we saw a lot in the early thousands? I don't know if you were paying a lot of attention to film and movies and albums and television in the early thousands, but there was this thing that was happening a lot that they were calling transmedia, where, a thing from one piece of media would cross over to another piece. So do you think we're going to be getting discrete puzzle pieces passed back and forth between these shows, jokes that you'll only get if you specifically watched, both episodes that week?
I think you're going to have to. I think that they're going to make references, something will happen in Young Sheldon, and then in the Big Bang Theory, Sheldon will reference something from his past life, from his childhood, and only people who watch Young Sheldon are going to get it. I would really like if the characters played into it, if Leonard was like, what are you talking about, Sheldon? I've never heard you talk about this. But just that last week, Young Sheldon spent a whole 30 minutes talking about it.
Yeah.
I would love for that to happen.
That would be some great synergy there. Product placement. Do you think we'll be seeing any product placement in
I hope so. I think Pepsi's probably out. I don't think we're going to see Pepsi, but we might get what was hot in 1989. We might get some cool.
Tab?
Sega?
Was Tab
Sega?
out? No, Sega was not out yet
Nintendo?
in 1989. He would be playing a Nintendo Entertainment System.
It would be NES?
Let's talk about gaming in this world.
We haven't seen. So here's the thing. So there's 3 young children in this house. One who's going into high school at the right age. So he's 13, 14. A 9-year-old, and the younger sister who we assume is 6 or 7. And yet they seem like they're middle class. So I don't think it's necessarily an affordability issue.
Sure.
But there's absolutely no consoles in the house. 1989.
That's true. Sorry, pardon me. That could be due to sort of him having a sort of protective, a sort of protective upbringing family. I myself grew up in a household where a lot of my media consumption was really sort of regimented and laid out for me. Not necessarily laid out for me, but a little bit prohibitive. Video game time for me was at a premium. I didn't get my first video game console until I was quite old. So Sheldon getting his first video game console might very well be an important
I hope that they make that a whole arc. I mean, I remember when I got my first video game console, it was a Super Nintendo. I got it for my birthday when I was 6 maybe, and I got and I'm not gonna remember the name of the game, but it was a Super Tasmanian. It was like a Tasmanian Devil game for the Super Nintendo, and I played that and one of the NHL games at the time that came out for hours on end. But as I was saying to Pat earlier, on another stream, which some people have referenced, because you've got some good fans on this here chat who are tuning in. The best game of all time came out for the Nintendo 64, and it was Pokemon Stadium 2. The best game of all time.
Margaret Attaway, sorry. We were talking about Pokemon Stadium. I'm sorry for phasing out there.
No, you're good.
Pokemon Stadium 2, excellent mini games, if you're into those. Margaret Attaway asks, or says, Pat is desperately attempting to relate this to video game causes because this is Polygon. Polygon also covers entertainment, typically not on our YouTube channel.
Not at all on YouTube,
but if you're just tuning in, this is our 200-minute stream of the Young Sheldon quick look. What do they call sneak preview?
The trailer. It's a trailer. It's a preview. It's a trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if I still have their actual trailer up. Oh, I do. They're calling it First Look.
First Look. And it very much is a first look. It's sort of a condensed first episode of the show. If you see this, you probably don't need to see the pilot. You'll miss out on a lot of the good jokes.
You don't need to watch
and we are actually getting a call from one Russ Frushtick of Polygon.com.
Oh, Russ Frushtick.
Stand by, Russ, when we get you on speakerphone. Russ, you're on the line.
Hello.
Russ, how are you enjoying the Young Sheldon trailer?
I'm liking it, to be honest. I don't love the video game talk. I feel like it's a little bit of a departure from specifically Young Sheldon and everything he's up to. So I don't really think it's relevant. Personally, I'd rather you guys just focus on Young Sheldon. But I realize you have interest outside of the show.
Which watch through was your favorite, Russ? How many times have you seen the trailer?
I've probably seen it at this point like 13 or 14 times.
Oh wow! Which one really hit home for you?
It kind of started clicking around 5,
Yeah.
and then later on, probably again around 9, and then it peaked again. Surprisingly, at 12, I wasn't expecting that, and then it kind of fell off. But I think it'll come back again. Probably at around 18 would be my guess.
I think it's what he's describing is a little bit of Stockholm syndrome. I think he's he's just buying into it at this point.
I think it's what's happening is he's just it's the sort of thing where maybe your first view isn't going to be the one that really does it for you. There's a lot of films that are like that. There's a lot of albums like that. For example, it took me like 7 or 8 tries until I could listen to Trout Mask Replica by Captain Beefheart. Early Nick Cave stuff is the same deal. You really got to expose your brain to it, take some time away, come back to it, and then you can maybe absorb what it's trying to do a little bit better. And I think the Young Sheldon first look is definitely one of these cases. Russ, are there any moments in this trailer that are really standing out to you as things?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, again, I've watched it several times, and to be honest, even though it grabbed me emotionally, certainly the hand-holding scene is an epic moment. I do have pretty major concerns, and I don't know if you guys share these concerns, but for me, you know me, I like to laugh. I'm a guy who likes to laugh. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Really? And my concern is, in watching this trailer, it really does look like, one of these modern family office sort of look at the camera and sneer kind of shows, and I feel like I'm not going to know when I should be laughing because people aren't really laughing alongside me. Now, I know that there is a scene in the show where Young Sheldon is in class and people laugh at him, but that's not really what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for, my peers laughing alongside of them.
Yeah, I think that's a valuable thing, and maybe that's a thing that the fan community can provide for us. Is sort of in the anime world, it's fan subs, it's fan dubs.
Yep.
Maybe in the Young Sheldon world, it'll be these sort of homebrew laugh tracks. So that maybe just a couple hours, maybe the next morning on Pirate Bay or wherever you get this sort of stuff, there can be a fan-made laugh track out there, so you can sort of.
Sure, but do we even know where Mr. Chuck Lorre wants those laughs to land? I don't know that I can trust the internet community to know that they're going to know where those laughs should be.
But I do trust the Big Bang Theory community to know where those laughs should be, and I think that they can do it. I believe in them. I believe in Eric.
Yeah, once again, to sort of relate this back to video games, a thing that we care passionately about here at Polygon.com, I want to look at the example of Sonic. What's the upcoming Sonic game?
Forces? No,
it's the one that is being developed by extremely dedicated Sonic fans. It's in a lot of ways it looks like the Sonic 4 that never really happened.
I'm gonna look this up on Polygon.com.
Yeah, Nick Robinson is super excited about it, but it's a case where the community has
Sonic Forces.
No, that's a different one.
Fans can play as their own original characters.
Yeah, no, that's a different one.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Guys, you're talking about video games again, so I'm just gonna go.
Okay. That's totally fine. Russ, thank you so much for the call. We hope you enjoy the rest of the stream. He hung up.
He didn't. He just wants to talk about Young Sheldon. Let's give him what he wants. He just wants to know.
Snowball effect in the chat correctly predicted that I will make Russ angry with all the video games talk. And he went ahead and hung up on us. So this is, I've lost count of how many times we have watched the Young Sheldon trailer now.
5 minutes. We're sitting at an hour and 10 minutes, so divide that by 5, and you'll get your answer. I've watched this trailer so many times that I can only think about Young Sheldon. But I really want to know more about his relationship with his siblings, because he clearly does not get along well with his sister. They just want to insult each other. But him and his brother, it almost seems like he respects his brother, but he just can't tap into it.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be adversarial with his brother the same way he is with his sister. It could be a situation where his big brother, he considers his sister a peer. So he is comfortable sort of interfacing with her on that level. With his brother, maybe he's a little more distant. He's a little further away in age because his sister is his twin, as is established in the beginning of the episode. But he does berate his brother, telling him, think, monkey, think. So he's clearly lording his intellectualism over his brother. Miss McElroy.
Not related.
No relation.
Spelled differently. Not related at all to our lovely McElroy brothers. But here's my question. I want to know more about his mom. Do you think she is fighting for him and what he wants? And because he's a special kid, and I feel like they probably really, as we've seen in church, they have a special bond. They really love each other. They're spending time together. And I wonder if she is down at the school fighting every day for her son, or if she's like, I don't know, man, you got to do this for yourself. You're the one who wanted to jump a bunch of grades. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough ride for our young Sheldon.
Rosie says he will be the new Macaulay Culkin, but hopefully with a much brighter future.
Rachel Breaker says Julia is a cutie.
Aw, thanks, Rachel Breaker. It's so nice of you. Yeah, Miss McElroy, which has become a bit of a joke inside the chat. It's been going on for quite a while. Look at that old school TV. My question is, why are they watching a TV like that in 1989? I have questions about the use of their technology. Here's the thing. See, there's no gaming console. We're not going to talk about gaming, but there's no gaming console. There is a very antiquated television. I feel like this is 1989 going on 1959.
Yeah, so other folks in the chat pointed out the 1950s parallel. I'm going to slide the audio for Sheldon up just a little bit, and I will check that on my monitor momentarily, because we're getting requests for more Sheldon in the chat, which is what I said early on. If you want more Sheldon, please just let us know. Just say more Sheldon, and we will give you as much Sheldon as you need. His dad's got a beer in hand. Alcoholism may or may not end up being a plot line. Does Sheldon drink on the television show Big Bang Theory, of which this is a spinoff?
I'm not sure. I don't actually know if he drinks. I think they've addressed it, and he doesn't. I think he drinks. He has like a soda that he drinks. It's like it's like a Coke or something. That's what his go-to drink is. I have so many. I don't know if it's because I'm losing parts of my sanity.
Sure.
But every time I watch this trailer, something new pops up that I want to talk about immediately.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and talk about it then.
Right now, all I can think about is how much I love this dad. I think he's my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really happy that people keep pointing out that young Sheldon is like young Pope, all these young things. And I would really like someone to Photoshop young Sheldon's head on the young Pope's kind of body. I think that'd be very fun.
Does he have a good body, the young Pope?
We don't really see it. I don't think. I can't remember. But he's under the papal robes.
Yeah.
Papal robes.
Papal, I think.
Papal,
I think.
Papal people.
That might be a thing that Sheldon exclaims at the end of one of the episodes. Papal. So just to loop the chat back around, if you're just joining us, one of our theories for this show is that at the end of each episode, Sheldon will attempt to launch a new catchphrase as he slowly works his way towards Bazinga.
Yeah.
And so on each episode, he will have a sort of failed attempt where he comes up with something that isn't quite right. So we had a lot of great examples in the chat. Feel free to drop more great examples of failed bazingas in the chat, and we'll try to read those out as quickly as we can.
Really happy that people are feeling the dad, right? He's so good. I just am always looking for a Dan Connor in my life, and I feel like he's my Dan Connor. I think he's gonna be my new favorite character. God, old Sheldon's so obnoxious, though.
Yeah, Nick Vernon actually asks, will old Sheldon narrate every episode?
God, I hope not, but I know that he's involved, so probably. I mean, that's the only downfall, is that there will be a old Sheldon, and I just don't like old Sheldon. But young Sheldon has so much potential to not be old Sheldon.
Yeah. Do you think, and this is sort of a bigger question about growing up, do you think old Sheldon regards young Sheldon with admiration? Do you think he, views himself as a kid who was wronged, a kid who never did anything wrong and was just wronged by the world? Or do you think he despises himself at all? A lot of times when I'm thinking back about the way that I've acted in the past, there's a lot of anger there at myself, at the person who I was.
When you were a teenager.
When I was a teenager, when I was younger than a teenager, and even just years ago. Do you think old Sheldon has that level of, self-reflection?
I don't think he does. I think he thinks he's perfect. Although I would love for him to have I'm going to use these cartoon references again, a Stewie or Bart moment where they kind of see themselves in 20 or 40 years.
Sure.
And they realize that the person they become is nothing of what they want to be. And I think the only difference would be that Sheldon has the career he wants. He has this beautiful fiance, I think. I don't know. So season 10 ended with some marriage proposal. But he's got this going on for him. But at the same time, he realizes that he's become a total dick. And so it's like, hey, I don't like the fact that I'm a tool.
Yeah.
Because he's a tool. He's the worst
mean
character.
He pushes people away. He's mean to people.
He's not funny. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Don't like
it's
him at
getting a
all.
little hot under these lights, folks. And maybe it's just the trailer. I'm starting to feel a little bit.
Stream Friends wants you to talk about the things that make you angry. Let's get real confessional. What makes you angry?
About myself?
Yeah.
So we'll get into that in a
Aside
minute.
from
We're going to
Sheldon.
put that on the back burner for just a second because we need to catch up on some of these great theoretical failed bazingas.
Oh, yeah, let's scroll through
as
here,
we
yeah.
mentioned, if you're just joining us, we theorize that at the end of each episode, young Sheldon will attempt to launch a catchphrase in the vein of bazinga that will not take off, and the show will sort of be about his, or one of the subplots of the show will be about his journey to bazinga. So we've got
Gentle pullout is great, guys.
Pabalinga.
Keep it going.
We've got Blizziga, which is a spell from the Final Fantasy series.
Blambupus.
Bazoinga.
Zoopbab.
Blaburger.
Bimblaza. Cadoozle. But Dezingle. This sounds like a Dr. Seuss book at this point.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book or a rolled doll.
Like the Garfunkel.
Zambugla. Zimbabwe, again.
So 42 says osteoporosis.
Babzupa. Actually, Snowball Effect says a failed bazinga would be Slow Zoom.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
sorry,
one.
we should give people credit here. Smelly Taco says Dude Dad is great. That wasn't a failed bazinga. Reaver Bro says Bap Zaddy.
Ollie the Deer, I'm going to read yours and I'm going to try to say it. Zing Bomb. I think there's like a sound effect in there. Zing Bomb. I like it because there's a fart sound.
Blappy Blam says Bababga, which sounds like the name of a Russian witch. Ian Ramsey says Babambo, which is better than Babampo. Alice says Blizzard Entertainment.
Yeah, that's a good one. Ollie the Deer again with BB. But you give me ones that I can't say, and I respect that. I like
Sea
it.
Strike says Burpo, perhaps a tribute to Colton Burpo, the young boy who died and saw heaven and then came back.
TM Lon says Benghazi, which is kind of perfect. I wish that he kind of said Benghazi as a way of being like semi-edgy. He was like, I'm going to use Benghazi. It's going to be a great thing. And then gets to the state of the world today.
Yeah.
And realizes
there should
what
be
it
a
is.
sustained run where he's using the exclamation Benghazi. So he starts the whole Benghazi thing.
Everyone keeps saying Zimbabwe, and it's like, no. Zimbabwe is not a good catchphrase. Let's move away from Zimbabwe.
Baraka is a good one of Mortal Kombat fame. Bladingo, Zagunga.
John Dudebro, which is a great name, says Bobby Mbop. I like the ones that make me sound like sound effects.
Adam Pacheco says Kabopo, which reminds me of Cowboy Bebop, another great show. Not as good at this as
this is probably my favorite. I'm gonna crown this my favorite,
Sure.
at least as of right now. Jesse Burnett says, "Baby back, baby back, baby back, baby chilies, baby back ribs."
That would be a really good
I would
one.
love for him to try to get that out really quickly.
Dan Green says Finger Blast, which is not appropriate until maybe 5 or 6 seasons in. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ollie the Deer says Burnpo Binga. Did you already say that one?
Ollie the Deer has a bunch. They or she. Sorry, I'm gonna use they. They are on it.
Sean Britt says Bafucka. Again, this is not an HBO series.
Guys,
We will not be hearing the F word. Let's keep it pure.
Mob Goblin. I get that you want to use real places. You got Kenya. You got Morocco. It's just you're just listing places at this point. Might as well go with
Reykjavik.
Krispy Kreme.
Barack Obama would be another one good if you predicted the rise of
would be
Barack
good. Just
Obama.
Barack.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
BarkBox, a great service for getting toys sent to your dog. Babylonia.
Love Babylonian. Like I love
Algeria.
if he gave Nick, like I love if he gave our sweet boy Nick Robinson became a thing.
Yeah. Magic just tuned in and says, "What is this?" That's a great question. I'm sorry, we've just been listing theoretical bazingas
Yeah.
for maybe 10 minutes now, and I'm so tired.
Oh, good. CB says PewDiePie. That's good.
PewDiePie would be
That's
really good.
great.
They
Yeah.
can do a lot of stuff in the show where he sort of predicts things in nerd culture, and I guess in culture in general, ahead of time.
I would be so into that.
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, hang on.
So we should just
Poppy
know what this
says,
is.
right-click on
For
video
people
and
who
loop.
just
Yeah,
came
we
in.
should. I'm getting delirious.
I'm gonna do it. I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So this is a 200-minute live stream of us just watching on loop the Young Sheldon trailer. Young Sheldon, by the way, Pat and I noticed this earlier, and we kind of haven't been able to forget about it, which is spelled lowercase y, Young, and then Sheldon.
Yeah, and the YouTube titling
Yeah,
for the show, they
it's
did that.
like-
I'm not sure if that was a mistake.
I kind of hope it's not. I hope it's like a weird internet
Yeah.
trend, like it's a Tumblr thing, like they're trying to
Okay.
connect with the teens. So what we're doing, we're watching this on loop, we are commenting, we are theorizing about what this can mean. We are very excited for this show. This is the prequel to The Big Bang Theory, the most watched show on television.
Excuse me, God, I am just...
Just Burpee McGee.
No, I think I need to start drinking.
Oh yeah, there is whiskey right over there.
Do you want to hold down the
'Cause we're
chat in the stream
professional.
while I go get us some ice?
Yes, go get ice glasses and the whiskey's there. Also get yourself a snack if you're hungry.
How are we doing for time?
We are good. We are at 1 hour, 21 minutes. We have 39 minutes left.
Okay.
Okay, we got a question. We got a question from Wampus. Hey, since Big Bang Theory happens before Young Sheldon, do you theorize that regular Sheldon will make reference unknown to the audience, and then Young Sheldon will basically explain the reference? That is actually the reverse of what we were talking about, but I like this theory better, Wampus. I like the idea that you have to tune in right after the Big Bang Theory ends to understand the joke. Yes, I think they could do that because it's similar writers. It's the same creator. They 100% could do that. This is television. Anything is possible. I'm going to go through the chat and talk to you guys. But also, I want to know your opinions, guys. What do we think of the siblings? I cannot stop thinking about it. I want to know more about them, especially the older brother who seems like he is going to develop some kind of rebellious nature for no apparent reason. How is Young Sheldon Patrick about to light up the stream? Yes, we are going to get lit. Do people still say lit? I like it. I'm gonna use it. How is Young Sheldon formed? Well, that's a good question. When a man and a woman love each other and they come together, they have sex, and if he does not gently pull out, Young Sheldon is formed. That's exactly what happened. Oh my God, did somebody make a young Pope Sheldon? Okay, inaudible whisper. I'm gonna click on this. I'm worried. I'm gonna click on it. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna click on it.
You can't. They haven't descended yet. Mom?
Oh, you're not working for me. It's not working for me. Try relinking it, because if it's cool, we'll tweet it. Because I'm very excited. Punk Sheldon. Yeah, we kind of have this theory that Sheldon is going to become goth, and I would love to see Sheldon become like a 90s goth kid, like someone who wants to go to Manson shows and like listens to really angry old Nine Inch Nails, which is basically who I was in the early 2000s because I was born in the 90s. Who would narrate old Sheldon? The first thing that popped into my mind, and it made me instantly sad. Oh, that was asked by Nicholas Charlton. The first thing that popped into my mind, and it made me really sad, was Leonard Nimoy, because I just picture it, and it would be really funny. And then I thought William Shatner, and that just feels like an insult to Leonard Nimoy. So I don't know. Maybe Kurt Russell or Jeff Bridges. It would have to be like a really cool, strong dude, I think. That's great. No, whiskey's fine. Just straight up whiskey, my dude. Can we get this on screen somehow? Yeah, Sean Britt says Young Sheldon was formed at the moment of the Big Bang. Pat has a very expansive theory about this exact thing, and it's fine. Do the Sheldons have last names? Yeah, it's Cooper, isn't it? Isn't it Sheldon Cooper?
I believe that is the canonical last name
Sheldon
of
Cooper.
The
character Sheldon Cooper. Actually, the headline just now said CBS doubles down on Sheldon Cooper, which I don't like that. It's not a great headline. I tweeted a Young Sheldon at y'all a few minutes ago. Okay, I'm gonna look at it. Did you tweet it to Pat, me, or oh my God? That is great. Okay, I'm gonna retweet this.
Yeah, go ahead. No, drop that in the chat too.
Yes. This is perfect. Oh, you guys are. Oh, everyone's tweeting at us. These are so great, honestly. I'm gonna do a whole. Make enough of them all. Make it a meme. We'll put it on the site. Yeah, there's a couple. I'm gonna drop them into the chat, which means I think I have to log in.
Wampus has a really interesting point here. I'm back, folks.
With whiskey.
Cheers, love.
Where's my whiskey? Oh, thanks.
To Sheldon.
Thank you. To Sheldon.
Beverages provided by Allegra Frank of Polygon.com.
Thank you, Allegra.
Thank you, Allegra. We'll pay you back. So let me scroll back to Wampus's really good comment.
Yeah.
Wampus is killing it in the chat here. Wampus says, I'm really interested in his friends because this trailer really doesn't address him talking to people outside of his family. What do you think? That is a really good point. So far we have only seen Sheldon interacting with his immediate family. Other than, you know, a moment when he is with his mother and he points out a woman is pregnant and then he points out that he can see a girl's bra through her shirt. We don't see him having close relationships with other people. And I think that's sort of a theme of Sheldon that maybe they can't blow on this show. Maybe this show needs to be about him and his family, because if they show him overcoming his sort of interpersonal friend issues on this show, it might invalidate a lot of the work that they've already done in Big Bang Theory.
Yep,
sort
that's
of
a good
covering
point.
that territory. Because, you know, if they have an arc in here where he learns how to cohabitate or he learns how to share or he overcomes things, as, you know, you do in a sitcom arc, that might, you know, more or less create a time paradox that could endanger the Big Bang universe as we know it. I haven't had anything to drink yet, so here we go.
Guys, I can't share a link in the chat. What's going on? I can't do it.
Oh yeah, I guess you can't. You cannot.
Wait, I'm gonna do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share it, but I'm gonna change that to that. So it's there. You guys just have to replace the .com with like a .com. But it's in there. This is actually the Gotham of Bazinga. I like that. That's
The
really
Gotham
good.
of Bazinga.
That's pretty good. That's
that should have really been their subtitle on this one.
Foghorn Leghorn, also a great name. Oh, every time the Goths come around. Also, I don't know if anyone's a Degrassi fan, but one of the Goths looks like Ashley from, not from Polygon, but from Degrassi.
Oh, really?
And it's freaking me out every single time. Yeah, I don't know if there's Canadians or Americans that just grew up liking Degrassi in here, but...
Nick Vernon says, I hope there are extended sequences of him just writing Star Trek fan fiction.
Oh, God, me too.
That would be really good.
That's a great idea.
This would be a great opportunity. I think you might have been discussing this when I was out of the room getting beverages. A really good opportunity for them to bring in some nerd culture icons for a young Sheldon to interact with.
Yeah, so who would have been icons then? It would have been late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Who would have been an icon for culture on there? When did...
Well,
Batman was later.
Star Wars is evergreen.
Right, Star Wars is there.
But
Star
the difficult
Trek
thing
movies.
is, so, you know, are they going to age these people down if they have Mark Hamill on the show as Mark Hamill? You know, do they find a guy who looks like a young Mark Hamill? Or do they have, like, nerd icons on there sort of playing people other than themselves? It's sort of like a wink to the audience. Like, haha, I'm a nerd icon for
I
me.
would just love like a Mark Hamill now, because you know he'll do it. Like Mark, if someone said, hey, Mark Hamill, we need you to kind of just basically be Mark Hamill, but maybe in like a custodian outfit, like he would be filming Star Wars and be like, sure, I'll fly back and do it, or like whatever, it's fine. Because that's the type of guy that Mark Hamill is. He's a good human.
Mars Laterno says, I had to keep the stream running on my computer and my desktop at the same time so I could get coffee without missing anything. Thank you for your dedication,
Yeah,
Mars.
we really appreciate that. We didn't think anyone was going to buy into our insanity, but we're really happy that people like it, because Pinky says, please make Nick Robinson from Polygon watch this for 420 minutes. I think Nick would not do that. I think he would give us a very nice no.
Yeah, Nick would very politely say no. I don't even know if we could get him to call us. Should we try to get him to call us?
We can try to get Nick to call us. Nick is a very busy, popular man, but we can try to get him. We can ask him what he's doing.
Here's why.
It's 5:40 where he is. He's in the Bay.
It's a perfect time to call your friends.
Yeah. What else do we have to do? So Joe Spots, I agree with you. I like when I can't remember what show it was. Maybe it was in Community. Someone did they had like, it was some actor. It was like probably William Shatner. Just because that's what I'm thinking of. And they actually got him to wink when he was on, and I was like, that's perfect. So it was like acknowledging it in a very subtle, cool way.
Brandon Fenimore has an excellent question here. He says, can we get half speed for a more detailed analysis?
Oh,
I think
can
that's
we? Can we do it?
I believe we can. I think that's in our settings here.
Yes,
I think
we can.
we can drop down to half speed. So we will, for our next playthrough, we will watch the Young Sheldon first look at half speed. We want to wrap up at this one so you can get a complete experience of him just stuffing those tater tots right in his mouth. That's a shot that's actually been haunting me a little bit with repeated viewing, is seeing his brother just jamming that tater tot into his mouth.
Yeah,
and it's really
it's
maybe
not-
the second to last shot in it. And one thing that you learn when you're learning about film theory is that really nothing is accidental. Directors don't just do things for no reason. So there's probably a reason that they decided to show us that as our final shot. I'm actually going to back up, and we're going to turn the sound up for this first half-speed playthrough, so we can sort of analyze in more detail.
So this is going to take 10 minutes, this one.
We will drop down to 25%. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I like it. This is even more disturbing.
A hush falls over the crowd as Cooper studies the board. He makes his move.
I feel like this is going to make the, what do you call them, your zoom-ins, your fast zoom-ins? They're going to, it's going to be even more noticeable.
Howard, flashback sounds.
I've always loved trains. Don't let your babies grow up.
Yeah, it's even scarier. I hate it. I hate it so much.
This is a quiet viewing.
If my career in theoretical physics hadn't worked out, my backup plan was to
Sorry to interrupt
become a
this
professional ticket taker.
slow viewing of
hobo.
the Young Sheldon trailer, but we have a caller. I'm
With special
going to put you on
guest?
speakerphone.
Train.
Hey caller, who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Nick Robinson.
Hey Nick.
What do you do for a living, Nick? What do you do?
I make videos on dailymotion.com.
Oh, cool. I love Dailymotion.
My favorite thing about dailymotion.com is how the banner ads change every 10 to 15 seconds and make the video freeze. I think that's a really cool feature that they've put together for us.
It makes you kind of slow down and appreciate the content a little more.
Nick, do you like Young Sheldon? Do you think this is going to be the show of the year?
So I haven't seen the trailer for Young Sheldon yet. Have you guys seen it?
We've seen it about just a couple of times.
All right, is it good?
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's actually getting better with each viewing.
Is it growing on you, I guess is a better question.
Young Sheldon is both growing in life and growing on us.
Yeah, so we were talking a lot earlier on about the themes of sort of expansion and growth. One of the theories that I'll share with you really quickly on the phone here is that there about 90% of the shots in this trailer are slow zooms. And my personal theory on that is that's tying back into the theme of the Big Bang, the theme of expansion, because all of the imagery we're seeing. Yeah, what do you think of that?
I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm watching y'all watch it right now in what appears to be kind of a reduced rate of speed so you can pick up on details and stuff. And I really enjoy, there's a shot where who I assume is Young Sheldon kind of stands up and emerges from some train tracks in a way that's very sort of threatening and intimidating. And I'm hoping that implies that we're going to get sort of an anti-hero bent to him. Like kind of a Breaking Bad vibe, or something a little dark.
So
that could be cool because
maybe a Better Call Sheldon.
Better Call Sheldon I think is a great. Because I saw a little bit of your stream earlier, and it made me think about Better Call Saul in terms of Better Call Saul has obviously been building up to the moment where we find out how his name became Saul Goodman. Yeah. This show, I think, is building up to the Bazinga moment, which I know you guys have covered extensively already, and I don't want to waste your time because I know you've only got a few minutes, a few hundred minutes left of this.
Just the rest of our lives, man.
Yeah. So I do want to hear what your. I mean, we don't need to brush that under the rug. I would love to hear your theories on when we're going to get to hear the first Bazinga in this show, and how do you think they're going to build up to that?
My gut is actually that it's going to be kind of a situation not totally unlike How I Met Your Mother, which is another show I've never seen.
Yeah.
But I think in that one, at the end you find out how what character met the character's mother, and I'm assuming the Bazinga moment is going to be, if not a series finale, then a season finale situation. Like they cut to black. Maybe it'll be like a fun Sopranos thing, which is another show I haven't watched, where at the end it like cuts to black while he's halfway through saying Bazinga. Like, that would be
that could be a really good tease for the. Yeah, I think I would enjoy that a lot. Is there anything that you just really love to see in the show before we let you go?
I want to see Old Sheldon.
Yeah. Who do you think would play Old Sheldon, Nick? If you had to pick someone.
Well, it's tough because as someone who hasn't seen Young Sheldon or regular Sheldon, I have not a lot of context. But I guess I'm looking at this boy here now, and I'm trying to decide who would look good as an old man of him.
I keep saying Jeff Bridges.
You know what would be fun? Would be Jeff Bridges is not a bad pull, like a shorn Jeff Bridges. I'd like to see Michael Caine trying really hard not to have an accent, because I've never seen that before. And that seems like it would be fun. Like every time Michael Caine gets cast in something, they just have him do his Michael Caine voice. Yeah. I want Michael Caine to pretend to be like an American.
That would be really
65-year-old living in the year 2031.
In Texas, like in East Texas. I love this.
He goes back to Texas.
Is that where Big Bang Theory is? It's Texas?
No, that's where Young Sheldon grew up. He grew up in East Texas.
Yeah, he's from Texas because it creates a better contrast with this sort of bookish, his bookish demeanor.
Because his father's a football coach.
Yeah.
This show is wild. I'm like watching this trailer right now, and it's like, this is not like a one camera like sitcom. This is like a fucking drama.
Yeah.
Like what is the format of this show? Why is it say this fall in the Office font so often? Like what? I'm really confused. Is there going to be a laugh track?
There's no laugh
track.
This is really weird.
So earlier on in the stream, we're discussing the possibility of maybe the fan community rallying together to make sort of fan laugh tracks, so that so for people like us who really need to know when the good jokes happened.
I've realized something. On your end of the stream, you guys have slowed it down 50%, but I've realized that on YouTube, and anyone who's watching at home, I'd recommend you do the same thing. You can actually click back about 4 or 5 minutes, then click the gear icon and set the speed up to 2x so that it fixes it, and then that way you can watch the Young Sheldon trailer at normal speed with kind of a fast Julia and a fast Patrick in the corner.
Oh, that's exciting.
That's a good idea. So if you're looking to mix things up for your Young Sheldon viewing experience, I would definitely recommend doing that. So we're about 3 minutes in real time into the Young Sheldon trailer, which at half speed translates into 6 minutes. Each of these half speed viewings will be about 10 minutes long, which is going to eat up a good chunk of our remaining time here. Nick, anything else you want to add before we say goodbye for the night?
Yeah, I think I want you guys to hear what it sounds like when you're doing commentary on it when I've fixed it and it's at normal speed.
Sure. It's not coming through super well, Nick. But
sounds like an alien movie.
I would definitely recommend that the folks at home try that out.
Nick, if you want to...
It kind of sounds like Simlish, like the Sims language.
Yeah. Nick, if you want to drop us a link to some of your Daily Motion videos, we'd be happy to drop that in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can subscribe to me on dailymotion.com/Babylonian, where I'm doing exclusive videos, sort of tailored to the Daily Motion format. So it's a lot of like re-uploads of like episodes of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Car crashes that you're not allowed to post on YouTube.
A lot of Russian MMA fights and stuff.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Anything that could have a copyright strike or that could be considered unethical to have on YouTube. I'm basically over on Daily Motion, just doing my thing with that type of content.
Maybe we should have done the stream on Daily Motion.
Maybe.
We should have done this stream on Daily Motion or Live Jasmine, one of the two, but probably not YouTube.
Probably either like Live Jasmine or Daily Motion, or somewhere in between.
Cool. Well, Nick, thank you so much for calling in.
Oh my God, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, if you get bored a little bit later and you want to call in, we are going to be going at this for a while, so just feel free to give me a buzz. You've got my number.
Well, we get our buzz on. What up?
Good luck with Carboys and all of the great shows that you're doing over at Daily Motion.
Thanks so much. Carboys finale is tomorrow evening, so look forward to that.
I'm going to put that in the chat right now.
Great.
Carboys finale.
Hey, see you later, Nick.
Tomorrow evening. I think that's a Daily Motion show, only on Daily Motion. Perfect. Excellent.
So we are almost through with our first slow-mo viewing of this, and the thing that I didn't think about
look how sad he is, Pat.
was that this is going to significantly cut into the amount of times we can watch this. Of course, it's giving us the added advantage of a more analytical eye as we go through it. So what do you think? Do you think it's worth watching it more times at regular? You know what?
I think we gotta make up for lost time.
'Kay.
Do it twice speed.
Is that an option?
I think that's how we do it. We do it twice the speed.
Well, in that case, I would like to watch it once at quarter speed, which we will lose sound, unfortunately. Actually, you know what? Sorry, we never finished our playthrough with sound at half speed because we got a call from Nick Robinson. So that's what our next playthrough is going to be. The one after that will be 1/4 speed with no sound. And then we will do double speed, hopefully for the rest of the stream. And maybe we'll do one more full speed watch at the very, very end.
Yeah, just to specify, because in the comments, it's the season finale of Carboys, not the series finale. Carboys, we love our baby boys, Nick and Griffin. They're not going anywhere.
No.
They are going to be here for a very long time.
Guys.
You still burping McGee?
No, I'm just tired.
Oh, you got to drink more whiskey, my dude. More whiskey.
All right, so this is going to be our sound up, no talking playthrough.
Nick just told me it's ending on the chat. He just said, Julia, it is ending.
The crowd as Cooper studies the board.
Cray cray.
He makes his move.
Cray cray.
And he solves
Ruining my buzz,
the
Nick.
equation. The crowd goes wild. No bell. No bell.
What a roller coaster. Yeah, for real. But we will always have Young Sheldon.
Flashback sounds.
No talking on this one. No talking on this one.
I've always loved trains. Don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. In fact, if my career in theoretical physics hadn't worked out, my backup plan was to become a professional ticket taker. Or hobo. And when I figured out that trains allowed me to prove Newton's first law, I felt like Neil Armstrong on the moon, alone and happy.
Shelly, dinner's ready.
What the hell are you doing out there?
George, language.
What language?
I was exploring dimensional kinematics. Admitted he's adopted. How can I be adopted when I have a twin sister? Think, monkey. Think.
That's enough. Now let's pray.
A moment, please.
Leave him be.
He can hold hands with his family, won't kill him.
We don't know that. Did you wash your hands for dinner?
None of your business.
Hence the mittens.
Thank you, God, for this food we are about to receive, and bless the hands that prepared it. Amen. Everybody excited to start school Monday?
How can I be excited when he's gonna be in the same grade as me?
Don't worry, Georgie. I'm not planning on being in the 9th grade for very long.
All I know is he's not in the same grade as me anymore, and I'm thrilled.
Good luck with your finger painting.
You're gonna get your ass kicked in high school. Hey! Ow! Whoa!
broke something at the dinner table, George.
Jane Goodall had to go to Africa to study apes. I just had to go to dinner.
You understand that some people are gonna be intimidated by you because of how smart you are?
Or maybe they'll recognize my intellect and make me their leader.
Lord, look after my son. Don't let him get stuffed in the gym.
Oh dear.
You doing okay?
I guess. Hey, Mom, look, that girl's pregnant.
Congratulations. All right, everybody. I'm sure you're all aware we have a student with us who is remarkably gifted. Yes, Sheldon.
This boy's hair is too long. This boy is wearing sports attire outside of a designated area, and this girl's blouse is diaphanous, which means I can see her brassiere. Also, in violation of the grooming code, you have a bit of a mustache.
This boy does not belong in our school. 5 minutes into my math class, he questioned my credentials.
He said I was intimidated by his intelligence.
Oral Roberts University is a wonderful school.
Why would you entertain evil thoughts?
I don't think this part applies to me. Shh. I'm only 9 years old. Most evil doesn't start till puberty.
How about we lose the bow tie?
Why?
Look around, honey. No one else is wearing one.
Perhaps I'll start a fad. Why can't we watch DuckTales? Because we don't learn anything. It's TV. We aren't supposed to learn. When we get home, I'm gonna kick your little balls. I can't. They haven't descended yet. Mom?
What?
When should I be expecting my testicles?
What is wrong with him? Nothing is wrong with him. Now turn around before I knock your lights out.
Hello.
And for the record, they descended when I was 15.
Go play.
There. I played. Hey!
You're not gonna make it in this school if you keep ratting people out.
But they're breaking the grooming codes and the dress codes. I saw one boy with a t-shirt that said, "Bite me."
Yeah, that's terrible. Did you ever wonder why we moved from Galveston to Medford?
I didn't wonder about the bigger questions.
Okay, well, here's why. Your dad had a real good coaching job, and I saw some grown-ups breaking rules.
when you told on them?
You know what happened?
Justice descended upon the rule breakers?
I got fired, Sheldon.
Dad? Are you sad that you got fired?
Mostly angry.
No man is bigger than the next.
But yeah.
But most of all,
Maybe a little sad.
don't lose your love.
All right, let's say grace. Thank you, God, for this food we are about to receive and for the nourishment of our bodies, and bless the hands that prepared it. Amen.
Amen.
That was the first time I held my father's hand. I wouldn't touch my brother's hand until 17 years later. Thanks to the invention of Purell. Wherever I
Hi, folks. If you're just tuning in,
I think Pat might be crying.
this is
He's got some emotion in his voice.
This is the Young Sheldon stream. We're streaming the Young Sheldon first look for 200 minutes, which is the length of The Godfather 2, one of the greatest films.
Well, hello.
One of the greatest films in history. That was our first complete view of the 50% speed playthrough of the Young Sheldon trailer. Do you have any new impressions or thoughts about the Young Sheldon first look after that viewing?
Yeah, hit us up. I think, like, I agree with everyone on the comments who's basically saying we need to watch this at half speed. Like, the entire season needs to be watched at half speed.
Sure.
I think that's the only way to watch it.
I think
to turn a 30-minute sitcom into a 60-minute drama.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Just put it at half speed.
And then it gets nominated for an Emmy alongside Better Call Saul.
I think that's the lesson that I'm taking away from it, is that the difference between a comedy and a drama is just put the whole thing at half speed.
Yeah, just remind
Have you
everyone.
ever listened to the Bruce Springsteen song "Racing in the Street"?
I have heard the Bruce Springsteen song "Racing in the Street."
So the idea of racing in the street,
pop up again,
slow pop up here,
just hate it,
is that lyrically and both lyrical content of that song, musical content of the song, the chord progression is identical to, like a Beach Boys song. So if you played Racing in the Street at double speed, it would just sound like a fun song about driving around at night. You play that song at half speed, it becomes extremely mournful.
And you're saying that's what we're experiencing here?
That's what we're experiencing here with Young Sheldon. Is I think if they really want to take this to the next level, after the edit, they should march right into the CBS office and say, you gave us 30 minutes, 22 minutes with ads. We need 44.
I don't think, here is my, hold on, I'm just going to take a second and shout out Damien Summers, my local Toronto boy. What up, Damien? Here's my thing. I think I got the opposite impression. I watched this at what is this, half speed? And I think they're all serial killers. This is like the Ted Bundy origin story. And it disturbs me because he has lifeless eyes.
Yeah.
All of them. But look at him. He's lifeless eyes. He's going to kill
Look at
them
his
all.
sister's eyes right there, too.
He's a porcelain doll who's just going to go on a rampage.
I gotta say,
and it disturbs me. But as I said in the comments, CBS also owns Criminal Minds. So there's crossover territory.
There definitely could be. They could be. They're all about brand synergy right now.
Yeah.
No, I think I have to admit that I noticed the same thing about his eyes, his dead stare, cold, dark eyes, like a doll's eyes rolling back into his head. One of the things, I took some notes during that last viewing, and I only was able to pick this up in my slower viewing there.
Oh, you did take notes.
When his mother is blessing their meal, she says, Lord bless his family, bless his food, and bless the hands that prepared it. I might assume that she prepared the food, so she just blessed her own hands. Is that true? Like, did you come from a family that said grace, and did your mom, when she was saying grace after cooking you up a big Sicilian Italian meal, say, God bless me for doing all this fucking work?
I mean, that's all like something my mom would say. I came from a very Sicilian, very Catholic family. We didn't say prayer as much, though, because my dad was super atheist. But my mom was super... She would just be like, yo, I'm the shit. Like, I should pray for myself. Like, screw y'all.
It's like self-care.
Yeah,
Like,
I respect that. I kind of respect knowing that you're worth something, you know? And the thing is, as we've said multiple times, this is a very religious show.
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
a family. And I can't get over the fact, and I interrupt myself, that the older brother looks so much like Kirk Cameron. Everyone needs to watch Growing Pains, or just the theme song. That's just fine. Look at this. This is disturbing. Also, little Forrest Gumpy.
Little Gumpy.
Little Gumpy.
The eyes, though, are the thing, though. The eyes are usually unmoving. One of the things that we're getting from this is you can really, when we're viewing it at half speed, you can really sort of count the blinks that are going on, and there aren't a lot of blinks from him. He's keeping those eyes open, kind of like a lizard might.
The goth kids are great.
I like getting an extended view of the goth kids.
I don't like the kid with the dreads. But the goth kids are like, actually, someone tweeted at us this beautiful photo of emo Young Sheldon, who is now my new son.
He is beautiful.
That is, we have the same lipstick, so I appreciate that.
People are pointing out that Young Sheldon is not wearing a seatbelt. 1989 was a different time, but it was not that different. In 1989, I was in a seatbelt.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I know we had a Phil Kohler on earlier. He's a dad, and would love to have asked Phil about seatbelt safety. Because if I was a parent, my kids would be in a seatbelt. Or not in a seatbelt, but they would have a seatbelt protecting them.
Yeah. Dreej in the chat says in the 80s we only had lap seat belts.
Like a roller coaster.
I'm trying to remember if that was the case. In 1989, I would have been 2, so I still would have been in a child seat.
You were born in the 80s?
I was born in the 80s.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you're just a baby. You were born in the 90s. But I'm an old man. I'm nearly 30, and I am watching the Young Sheldon trailer.
30 and flirty.
30 flirty.
Pat is a married man. I just needs to stop.
So Young Sheldon is a never nude, according to Taylor Mike.
Yeah, 100% is a never nude.
Yeah.
That's very good. It's a very good thing.
John Dude Bro says he existed for just under 2 months of 1989. So do you remember in those 2 months if you had a lap seatbelt or a full seatbelt? Because Young Sheldon either has neither or just a lap seatbelt, which is a safety concern. I remember absorbing a lot of stuff about car safety as a young person, and I'm wondering if that'll be a subplot in this show.
I kind of hope it is. I just kind of want to ask people in the chat too, like just a raise of hands, or I guess just a me or whatever, if you were a goth kid in high school. Because I feel like a lot of us probably were, or if not goth, if kids who went to high school in the 2000s, emo. Like if you're an emo kid, I feel like there's probably a lot of us that fit into that.
Yeah, give us a shout out in the chat. I
just want to.
I don't know if I'm drunk or tired or both.
It could be both. You only have one glass of whiskey.
That's
We drink
true,
more than
but
that usually.
I didn't eat a lot today.
We went to Wendy's.
We did. We ate nugs today.
We went to Nuggets. We got nuggets.
We went to the Wendy's in the Staten Island ferry terminal to get ourselves some 10-piece chicken nugget combos. How was yours? How was your review? Give me a review.
I still have some here because I'm
How did you
reviewing
not
a game. Because I'm reviewing a game and I was like, oh, I have to spend time playing this, so I just kind of ate a couple of nugs and then went back to the game. But. Yeah, no, I think you might be just a little bit of both. Yeah. You might be a little bit delirious watching the same trailer for 200 minutes. What we could do, Patrick, is speed it up the next time. Give you a fresh take.
A little bit.
Give you a fresh take. Bring some energy back into the room. I feel like this is draining.
For time, love?
We are at 2 hours, which is 120 minutes.
So we're 120 minutes, and we are going for 200. We have 40 more minutes of the Young Sheldon trailer. Me saying that is going to cause a distinct drop in viewership.
What did you say?
That we have 40 minutes left.
Guys, hang out with us 40 minutes. Like, Pat's getting drunk.
Only going to get worse.
It's going to get so much worse. We can all make fun of, not make fun. We can all love Pat for being a bit of a lightweight.
Sorry, you posited the question if we had any emos or goths.
Yeah, and people are, so here's
we have a lot of current ones too.
We got a lot of current ones. Straight up, mad respect. I was definitely an emo kid in high school. Had like the emo scene kid going on. So I respect it.
Fuck.
People are like, yeah, I was goth. Paleo nerd, you are my new favorite person. They just say I was garbage. That's my mantra. I appreciate that. Lilith says I was a goth witch. Oh, Holy Mackerel III. Great name. The emo kids wouldn't take me in. Well, we'll take you in.
Yeah, we'll take you in.
Yeah, you're part of us now.
I was neither. I was like absolute refuse, but like I hung out with the goth kids because they're the only people who liked me. But I couldn't. I couldn't make the commitment to goth fashion.
No, but I feel like what you didn't do with the fashion, because I don't really dress like a goth, but. Yeah. I mean, you and I are.
You're wearing black lipstick.
I am
right
wearing
now,
black lipstick,
Julia.
but I do. But like my shirt is not. But
That's true.
But you and I are going to Nick Cave at the end of the month.
We're gonna go see Nicolas Cave.
It's gonna be great.
John Dudebro, God, I fucking love you. In the comments, points out that young Sheldon does not need to wear a seatbelt because the existence of future Sheldon is certain. Therefore, young Sheldon cannot die. This is going to be a very important plot.
John Dudebro, you're on it.
Yeah, in the show moving forward, anytime this show tries to convince you that the physical or mental well-being of young Sheldon is in danger,
know that he will be fine.
First of all, if that will reassure you, know that he'll be fine. But do you think that's going to work against the show at all? Because you're never really going to feel like this kid is in danger of losing anything permanently.
No, because I don't think that this is going to be the type of show that puts him in danger. And I just want to take a second to address Pinky, who says that they have a test tomorrow and it's 3 a.m. where they are and they didn't study. How do we feel about this? School is important.
School is...
School, I didn't really go to school, but I've been told that school is important. So study and good luck on your test.
I did bad in school.
Me too. And we're doing
that's funny to admit
just
that
fine.
You did bad in school when you're in the middle, when you're 2 hours in to a stream.
That's my point,
online.
yeah. And now we're here doing 200 minutes of watching the Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
So clearly, we turned out okay.
Yeah. Oh shit though. Lachlan Wilson in the chat points out the possibility of parallel universes, bazinga, which
nice.
again plays into the Big Bang Theory. We're talking a lot about the universe. We're talking about how the universe is formed, how the universe is shaped, and one of the many theories about the universe's nature is that there might be multiple universes operating, simultaneously. So there is still the potential that this is in a side universe, a offshoot universe of the Big Bang Theory canon, where he could be in danger. So this is our third or fourth half speed. We're going to go ahead and drop down to a quarter speed.
I guess a good question. Nick Vernon brings up a good point. I'm not sure. Does Sheldon address, or do they address the idea of siblings in the Big Bang Theory?
I believe so. So
like they brought that up.
I think somebody in the chat said that he was angry that he didn't have a twin. I think they might have missed the beginning of the trailer where it established that he does have a twin.
Okay. Google this.
Yeah, I think it's been established.
Sheldon Cooper, siblings.
Oh, damn.
There's got to be a Big Bang Theory
Nubasaurus
wiki.
says that he's got some insider info on the series and that the series finale is young Sheldon and old Sheldon working together. He retracted that image, that post, because I think he's working on correcting some of the grammar in it.
Are they fighting crime? Are they?
I think they're. It was sort of a Doctor Who type of thing where they're fighting some sort of existential universal threat together. Mouthhouse says it's definitely an alternate universe because Sheldon's balls dropped in the season 2 of Big Bang Theory, which
nice.
is
nice.
Thank you so much.
That's good. That's some. This is why
That's
I
why
love.
we need these experts.
I
in the
love
chat.
the experts in our chat. They just have knowledge that we do not have. We have whiskey and thoughts on this trailer, which is now being played, Pat, at quarter speed?
Yeah, this trailer is playing at 1/4 speed, which means it'll take 20 minutes for us to get through this 5-minute trailer at this point. And we will have time to do that because we have, I'm guessing, probably approximately 30 minutes left in this 200-minute. 35 minutes left. So we'll get through it, and then we'll watch it at double speed for a while.
Nick Vernon says, I don't know if this is true, Nick Vernon, but I'm going to rely on you because I think Eric, who's been my go-to Big Bang Theory dude, I think he's gone. But Nick Vernon says, the other boys try to sleep with his sister. I feel like that's in every sitcom.
Yeah, that's a very sitcom plot line to have a hot sister who everybody's trying to get with.
There's a whole thing with Rachel and Ross and Friends where, who is Legally Blonde?
Gwen Stacy. No, what's her?
That's Spider-Man.
What's Reese Witherspoon?
Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
Totally opposite. Reese Witherspoon is the younger sister, and Ross hooks up with her, and it's a whole thing. So yeah, that's a common sitcom trope. That's not surprised me. That was a thing in the show. I'm gonna say your name wrong. I'm so sorry. Fopenplot says, "Hey guys, I arrived late. Can we start over so I can catch up on all the critical trailer times?" We could. We're not, mainly because I need to write a review for something, and I think Pat's lost his sanity.
Hold on, 75 minutes? How long have we been doing this?
No, we have 2 hours and 5 minutes.
So we've been going for 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. So that's 125 minutes.
Oh, Jesus
We have 75
Christ.
minutes. It's good. More time with... do you guys want to 75? I want 75 more minutes. This is great. This is why we're here.
75 more minutes,
Yeah,
Julia?
we can do this. It is on our thumbnail, Pat. We said 200 minutes.
200 minutes.
We're committed. We will... to 200 minutes, we will be committed, but we are committed to 200 minutes.
Jesse Burnett says, what if it's like the Jet Li movie, the classic Jet Li movie, The One, with Sheldon traveling through alternate universes, killing versions of himself, absorbing their power and energy until he himself is the only Sheldon. I want to talk about the movie The One starring Jet Li. Don't remember who directed that one. It was good. It was one of those post-Matrix action movies where everyone's like, let's go hella slow with all this shit so you can really see the cool moves going on. My favorite thing, God, I can't believe it's another 75 minutes. My favorite scene in that movie, okay, so the plot of that movie is that James Wong, directed by James Wong, The One. The plot of that movie is that if a version of you from an alternate universe dies, their power is divided equally among the remaining yous that still exist in those parallel universes. So an evil Jet Li from a universe where he's a bad guy starts jumping from universe to universe, killing himself so he can become more powerful. Until eventually it's just bad Jet Li and a very good Jet Li, and they have a face-off where their powers are sort of superhuman at this point. My favorite part in The One starring Jet Li is when evil Jet Li hijacks a truck and he's driving it, and he turns on the radio, and it's the band Drowning Pool. Julia, are you familiar with Drowning Pool?
Very, very familiar.
I believe it's the song Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. He's listening to Drowning Pool in this truck, and he says in his Jet Li voice, "Finally, something in this universe I like." Which is kind of how I think a lot of people felt when they heard Drowning Pool for the first time. Is like,
sounds about accurate. Definitely sums up how I feel. I have a request for you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Based on something someone just suggested. What if we did the trailer regular speed with you giving us a bit of ASMR voiceover?
Yeah, we'll do that for the next one. I'm gonna go get some more ice.
He's gonna get more ice. Go get some food.
This is I've got about 15 minutes before this trailer's over, so.
I got this. I got this. You got proposed to. Jesse Burnett says, "Please marry me, Pat."
Hell yeah. Do you need more ice?
No, I'm good.
How drunk should I get on this stream?
I think that is up to, it is 9:20 p.m. Like, you know what I mean? Somebody asked why we hang out in this office or why we're still in the office. Mm-hmm. We hang out a lot in this office with people from Polygon. We have a really cool room, which you guys may have seen in other videos. So we tend to just hang out here. It's midway for a lot of us, so we just hang out with everyone. Polygon people are friends, IRL.
Yeah. We are good friends. We're all good friends here at Paul. So the thing that happened a lot on the television show Friends is that they would do panel discussions. And
have you seen Friends? I realized the other day that half of Polygon has not seen Friends.
I've seen all of Friends. I've seen every episode of Friends.
Okay, good man. So have I. Multiple times, but yes.
What's your favorite episode of Friends?
That's a difficult question because Friends is not a good show. But I love Friends. Not a good show.
Have you seen the episode where Ross dates a girl and he puts on leather pants because he thinks it'll make him feel cool, and he gets the pants stuck around his ankles? And then he puts
the thing. Here's my thing about Friends. Talking about theories. Young Sheldon. I'm going to tie this in. Talking about Sheldon and Young theories. Here's my theory about Friends. Okay, hang with me. Hang with me on this bill for 2 minutes. In Friends, they watch Die Hard.
Yeah.
Okay, they're big fans of Die Hard.
Fuck.
Here's the thing. They watch Die Hard, which means in the Friends universe,
they know what Bruce Willis looks like.
They know what Bruce Willis looks like. Then Bruce Willis dates Rachel.
Yeah.
Would they not then at that point be like, you dated the dude from Die Hard?
Or you dated, how come, and also Ross is dating his daughter.
He's like, I dated Bruce Willis's daughter. They never address that.
They never say you look exactly like Bruce Willis from Die Hard. I think I pointed this out to a friend of mine when we were watching Friends. Marcel the Monkey, great character, great arc.
So
that,
great.
that arc had Jean-Claude Van Damme in it as himself, and it was in that arc. Monica wanted to go on a date with Jean-Claude Van Damme, who was playing Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, yes.
And Rachel went over to sort of butter him up a little bit so Monica could come over, and Rachel ended up dating Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This is the thing. I mean, I feel like I would love to, if I could talk to one of the friends, ideally it would be, at this point, like David Schwimmer, I guess. I would just be like, the question for you about this whole celebrity scenario. Yeah, friends, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot. You could look at sitcoms. We're looking at Young Sheldon. If you guys are tuning in, we're watching Young Sheldon for 200 minutes. It's a trailer. He looks miserable. We're going to get, guys, close up of the goss. Boots. Oh, there's the girl who looks like Ashley from Degrassi.
Mm-hmm. Trundle says that in the Friends universe, it's established that Bruce Willis's Die Hard character is played by Steve Buscemi. They established this.
What?
I don't know if this is actually true.
Steve
Buscemi.
I've been talking about Steve Buscemi all day because I think it's so interesting that he plays very charming characters, but is not a very charming man.
Yeah. So one of the things the thing that I was going to say minutes ago before we went down this Friends hole. Is before we went down our Friends hole is that a lot of times at panel discussions around the television show Friends, the sort of trite question that they'd get over and over again is, are you guys friends in real life? And in the case of Polygon.com, that's true. We are friends in real life.
We hang out quite a bit. Yeah, so for people wondering, most of us are based in New York, and then we have people, as everyone knows, in San Francisco and around the country. Most of us are based in New York, and we hang out a solid amount of time outside of work, at work.
For 200 minutes watching the Young Sheldon trailer. I'm going to go get us some more ice. Do you need anything out of the kitchen?
I'm good. I'm going to talk to the people in the chat who are hanging out. You guys can throw me questions about anything. Let's try to talk about Young Sheldon, but we can talk about anything and everything.
Talk about Young Sheldon.
Yeah, actually, we only talk about Young Sheldon until Pat gets back, and then it's Friends only. So then, figure it out. I wanted him to do the gentle pull-out line too, about how we're, something about everyone gently pulling out of each other, but everyone gently pulling out of each other's butt. That's a funny joke. Watch the trailer at 2 times speed to reach your 200 minutes faster, said Snowball Effect. Yes, we are going to do it at 2 times the speed when Pat gets back. I assume once we finish this. We are about, I can't see it on this stream. It's on Pat's stream. We're about a quarter of the way through the trailer at this point. This one's going to take a while. This is going to take some time. But totally worth it because we get to see close-ups of young serial killer Sheldon Cooper's face and his weird dead eyes, which I hate. Do you think we will ever delve into Baby Sheldon? Apprentice Joe King says. I think if we're going to do old Sheldon and young Sheldon and regular Sheldon, why can't we have Baby Sheldon? Boss Baby was the best movie of the year so far. Seriously. So I think we could 100% do it. Thank you, Ollie the Deer, for getting my joke about butts, because we're 10. Julia, is Simone there, or can you get her on the phone? Simone is on vacation. Anyone who follows us on Twitter knows that we live together. Simone is gone. She is taking a much-needed, much-deserved vacation. She will be back. I should know when she should be back. She should be back soon, is all I know. Adam says, can you get Nintendo to retweet the picture of young Pope Sheldon? We are going to try. The only thing that we are going to get Nintendo to retweet, and we believe in this, we're going to do it. We're going to get Nintendo to retweet the Toad photo. That's the goal. That is Pat's, I was going to say sole purpose. That's really mean. That is Pat's goal every week. We're going to do it. I believe in him. I believe in him, and I believe in the goodness of Nintendo's heart, and I think they can do this. Drunk Sheldon, he doesn't drink. Zombie Sheldon could be a Call of Duty expansion for just Zombie Sheldon fighting a bunch of other people. Robot Sheldon is basically Sheldon. Julia by Picks Me Out. What is your opinion on Darkest Timeline Young Goth Sheldon? Young Goth Sheldon is my sweet boy. He's someone that we would probably listen to a really shitty, like we would listen to like Escape the Fate on the way to school. Do you remember Escape the Fate? We would listen to Escape the Fate, and then we'd argue, and I would try to put on like the Smiths or Joy Division.
Go on, sorry.
But yeah, no, but that's, yeah. I think I would love young Goth Sheldon. He would be a very sweet boy that I would love till the end of time. I want to be his mother. I was saying that Simone and I live together, and I don't know when she's back on vacation. I'm sure she's told me. I don't know. People are coming up with spin-offs of, give us your best ideas for spin-offs. What the name of your spin-off, and what would it be about? Because this is about football, family, and any other F.
Friendship.
I was gonna go with fucking.
No, young Sheldon will not fuck.
He won't fuck. He's too,
my prediction
he's
for the
9.
series: young Sheldon will not fuck.
Old Sheldon will fuck, especially he's played by Jeff Bridges, 100%.
So I want to call out Pixie Meow in the chat, who says Liquid Sheldon, Solidus Sheldon, Venom, Punished Sheldon, and Big Sheldon. All great Sheldons from the Metal Gear universe.
Those are pretty good.
I would love if this game had some crossover with the Metal Gear Solid series. I believe the MSX Metal Gear Solid games were coming out by this time in history. And it would be great if Sheldon played Metal Gear and had some theories about the Big Boss and Outer Heaven and the greater Metal Gear universe. Nice slow turn by this extra. I guess we wouldn't call her an extra because she has a speaking part.
Teddy McCrell, sorry if I said that wrong, says Jock Sheldon, which would actually be great because his dad's a football coach.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're at like a time, like a season where he just really wants his dad's love and affection, and so he just joins the football team as like the water boy and tries to be a jock. Like a Friday Night Lights meets One Tree Hill meets Young Sheldon meets Young Pope. Would be into it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pitch that to Les Moonves.
Who's Les Moonves? I'm sorry.
Les Moonves is notable for 2 reasons. One, CEO and president of CBS Entertainment, so he gets last call on every single show that you watch, including Survivor, which is, as everyone should know, Griffin and Justin McElroy's favorite show. They love Survivor.
Is Jeff Probst still on that?
I don't know. Griffin would know. I am not too sure.
Oh, fuck. That's a lot of whiskey I just poured.
You want to pour some of my cup?
Yes, do it.
But the other reason people might know is in 30 Rock, there's a really great joke with Kenneth the Page where he says, I told my friend Moonvest. And so they say, let's Moonvest. And he goes, yeah. And it's just I think, homeless guy in a vest with moons on it. And it's really funny. As 30 Rock jokes are when they're described by people.
This is this our first quarter speed playthrough?
Yeah.
So we're sort of to the emotional apex, climax. What's the denouement? Is that what they call it? Wait, no, that's the thing that happens after this, where Sheldon's dad is telling Sheldon about his failings as a father and the reason that they had to move to Galveston.
Oh, yeah. This is a good one.
And this is a powerful moment because this is where we get to see that Sheldon does, in fact, care about the human beings around him. He's not just a robot. He's not just a sort of scientific processing unit. He's a human being who cares for his family and hopefully his friends. We had some people in the chat pointing out that he doesn't interact with anyone but his family in this, but hopefully he also treats his friends with the same sort of respect that he treats his father in this clip here, or in the resolution following
this is kind of this really sweet moment where, I mean, I keep calling this like the Little House on the Prairie moment where he's like, I love you, Pa. You know, like that really sweet, like kind of corny moment. But I think it only works again because this dad, who I think we've hashtagged as Team Slow-Mo Dad because we love him in slow-mo, this dad is kind of the best character on any television show. He's my dude. Like if there was a storyline where they had to like kill him off because, like, I don't know, he was not being paid enough or he wanted to be paid more, I would be devastated. I might have to stop watching Young Sheldon.
I would too. He's a good dad and he's got a good haircut. He's got a good look to him. I gotta stop touching the mic stand. I'm not sure if that's making mic noise. Ollie the Deer says Young Sheldon Naruto crossover.
I think Naruto's over, so it could bring it back from the dead. They could do that.
They could also do Young Naruto.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's Boruto. That's like,
is it?
Well, not really. It's his son, I think. That's a big thing. Yeah, people are super into the idea of a Naruto and Sheldon crossover.
John Dudebro says he loves this dad more than he loves his dad.
So do I, man. Like,
Loves
to be
their
honest. You know why? Because I grew up watching Roseanne, and I always wanted a Dan Connor dad. And my dad's dope. Like, he's fun. But he's not Dan Connor.
Yeah, Jesse Burnett says this dad looks like he's wearing a helmet made out of somebody else's hair, which...
Here's a question, though. The biggest question. I mean,
Who's
obviously, we know that he's had sex. But do we think this dad fucks? 100% yes.
Do you think he's fucking on the reg?
100% yes. So with that haircut, absolutely.
Well, you think he's fucking his wife, or do you think he's like just fucking whatever moves?
No. I think he's having sex with his wife. He seems like a guy who's not
He
gonna.
looks like he
cheat.
loves having sex with his wife.
Yeah, like he, you know what I mean.
Look
And
at
then
the look in his eyes. That's just what he's thinking about right now.
no, the look in his eyes is he hates his son, and
like-
the look in his eyes that he's going to kill his family.
Can't wait till I'm done talking to my fucking son so I can go have sexual intercourse with my wife.
And then punt a football. You punt a football, right? I think you kick it. Do you guys kick
You
a
can
football?
punt.
You
yeah.
can't punt.
Yep.
Okay.
Punting is not usually a good thing,
I'm
though.
from-
Punting is usually like punting is usually sort of a desperation move.
I'm from Canada. We have football. We have our own league. But I don't. It's not a thing. Like football is just not even a thing that exists unless you're from Saskatchewan. I mean, shout out Rough Riders.
Rough Riders. Pat O'Donnell says thick with 2 C's.
Yes, Dad. Yeah, and then Ollie Ledier said Dad Dick with 2 C's. Just perfect follow up. Yeah.
Sean Mooney says he loves procreating, which is true. God, you guys are the best.
This is. I'm just glad that this absurdist type of show exists. I wonder if CBS would be down to just
absurdist
play.
about it?
No, I mean like this exact type of thing. Like I wonder if CBS would be down to play an episode of 25% Speed.
No, they would not.
I feel like if people asked enough, they're like, "Yo, give us 1 week where you just play an episode at 25% speed." Look at it.
Oh, hold on. We're going to get a nice... This is going to be our first 25% speed tater tot shot coming up here in a second. I want everyone to enjoy this alongside me. There's Mom. A little blink from her. Young
so
Sheldon.
disgusted.
Young Sheldon with a disgusted look on his face. And here it comes. Tater tot shot. He's got a plate full of tater tots, but it's not enough for him. He's got to reach back into that tater tot bowl.
I am this kid.
And there we go. Mouth is already stuffed with food. Look of absolute bliss already on his face as the tater tot enters his mouth.
This like the older brother who just wants to stuff tater tots in his mouth is me. Always. We've reached the end of the trailer, guys. We did it. We did it.
So what do you think? Do you think we should jump up to double speed before we drop back down to regular speed? Should we do another 20-minute quarter speed? Should we ramp back up to half speed?
No, I think we got to do two. People are asking for twice the speed. We got to go to double speed.
All right, we're doing it. Do you want to reintroduce the stream for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna reintroduce. I'm sorry. People keep tweeting me the photo. I don't know if anyone's seen this of Jimmy Fallon with the briefcase with the switch and the 1-2 switch case. It disturbs me. So yeah, if people are tuning into the stream, we are watching 200 minutes of Young Sheldon, CBS's upcoming show. It's a prequel to Big Bang Theory, the best show of the summer or the fall, I should say. We are watching this trailer for 200 minutes. We've done it at 50. We've done it half speed, quarter speed, regular speed. This is now
jumping right into double speed.
Double
We're getting a little bit of flack in the slack. Sorry, a little bit of slack in the chat. We're getting a little bit of flack in the chat for jumping right up to double speed after.
Oh yeah, we probably should have just
after
eased
quarter
it in.
speed.
Yeah, sorry.
We should have. We're all about slow pullouts,
Gentle
pullouts,
gentle
and slow
pullouts.
zooms here at Polygon.com. And we're sorry if we just jumped to the double speed a little bit too quickly there. We will drop back down, and then we will return to the speed. It's all about changing the speed, varying the speed over the course of the stream.
You know, Pat, I thought that speeding it up would maybe make him more humane, less of a serial killer. It's actually made him more of a serial killer. I don't think I like... I'm gonna say this. This changes for people who've been with us since the very beginning. This is gonna come as a bit of a shocking statement. I don't know if I like the actual Young Sheldon anymore. I think he's creeping me out. So I think I'm gonna watch Young Sheldon because I'm very excited for the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it for the dad. Do it for the dad.
I think the dad has the most emotional potential for me to get invested in the show,
I do
which
too.
I will be watching on CBS. If you're just tuning in, folks, we are
at 160 plus 25. That's not how it works at all.
No, it's not. We're 120 plus 25. We're 145 minutes.
My math, guys.
Into our 200-minute stream of the Young Sheldon first look, released today by CBS. You can watch it at normal speed with the sound at whichever volume you please on the CBS YouTube page, where we're watching it right now. We're going to be watching this for 200 minutes, which is actually not coincidentally, which is the length of The Godfather 2, one of the greatest films ever made, a film that I must admit now that I have not seen.
Whoa, back it up. Have you seen The Godfather?
I have seen none of the Godfather films.
Okay, so you should watch. Stop after 2. You don't need to watch 3. Watch the first one. Second one's the best one, as everyone points out, because they do storylines really well. Just get through them, man. They're just
Second
good.
one's the best?
Second one is the best. The first one is classic.
Okay.
Marlon Brando. The second one is just Al Pacino at his finest.
Chad is asking us to watch it at 144p, so we're going to go
We're
ahead
gonna
and
do it. We're gonna do it. Oh yeah. Do we think this will make him less of a serial killer? Let's see.
Let's see. East Texas.
Nope, still disturbing.
It's actually kind of worse because
Actually
he's sort
worse,
of all
yeah.
blurred out, like a sort of nightmare figure you would see in your dreams that you just can't quite focus on. Like every time your eyes move over towards him, they just sort of twitch away from him.
He's basically an episode of Goosebumps meets Pennywise, and I hate it.
So I feel like you're being a little negative about the actor that they selected to play
No.
Young Sheldon.
It's the facial expressions. He's a very cute kid. I've said that multiple times. I think he's a very cute kid. I think it's with the speed up and the slowdown, his facial expressions are freaking me out because when we watch it normally, I think he's really cute.
He's a cutie.
He's a very cute. I like his little gap in his teeth. He's super cute.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him in some other roles. I think he's got a long career ahead of him. Okay, let's talk seriously once again. I feel like we've been goofing for a while instead of giving this trailer the respect that it deserves.
Yeah, we can go back to that.
What kind of career do you think this young man has ahead of him after, let's say 4 to 6 seasons of Young Sheldon? Do you think he's ever going to be able to get out from under Sheldon?
So the thing is, he was on another show. I'm going to try to find it. Oh, right. He was on a great show on HBO called Big Little Lies. Actually, no, it's not HBO. Sorry, I'm thinking of something totally different. What was Big Little Lies? He was in something called, oh, right, no, it was HBO. Thank you. It was HBO, but this year. Big Little Lies, which also starred Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, Shailene Woodley. Great show. So the thing is, he's in the game. Like, he knows what he's doing. I think this is going to bring him the acclaim that he needs to continue get booking gigs that he wants to book.
Sure.
But, I mean, this show's got 6 seasons in it, ready to go minimum. So it's up to him. It depends on what he wants to do, because there are people like Mary Kate and Ashley who did the acting thing when they were kids and kind of as teenagers, and then were like, nah, we're done. And alternatively, there's people like Justin Timberlake and Ryan Gosling who did it as teenagers and are now Oscar Award nominated winning kid actors. So
I mean, in the case of Gosling, like since he was a very, very young adolescent, child practically. Ace D says that he hopes that this actor ends up working at Polygon. That would be something. Imagine if, like, in 10 years, extremely elderly Patrick is still at Polygon. I don't know. We'll see if I'm alive.
I think you will be.
And we're hiring some fresh new blood. And we get the young man who played Sheldon coming up and applying for a job because he's really into the holographic video games, whatever it is that we're playing in that age. And we hire him, and then he's going back through our archives of our streams, and he's like, hey, you guys remember when you watched 200 minutes of me doing great jokes that were written for me by Chuck Lorre? Remember when you loved me emerging from behind that train?
So in this universe that you are imagining, this future, I think the reason he would want to work at Polygon.com, the best website on the internet, I think it would be because of the stream. I think he'd be like, wow, these people loved me so much when I was just a kid.
Just a tot. Speaking of tots, I'm excited to see that tater tot shot.
It's the best shot in the world.
We're back up to 720p just for the fidelity of the stream, because this is a historical document that we want to have at maximum.
But I think that's why he'd come. He'd come because he respected the fact that we talked about him for 200 minutes.
That we respected him enough to do this for him.
Yeah.
And I love that shot. I kind of do want to do another slow-mo shot. Slow-mo playthrough of this, because one of my favorite shots in this whole thing is the look on his face as he's adjusting his tie, because for most of this we don't get to see him doing a lot of face acting. because he is talking for most of the time. And I understand why they had to do that, because this is a trailer, this is a condensed version of the first episode, and they can't do a lot of just sort of showing as opposed to telling. But I do want to go back and watch this again in slow motion, because the shot where he's just sort of got a self-satisfied look on his face as he's adjusting his tie is some really primo shit. And I would love to just soak in that moment for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I think it's up to you in the chat, but I'm okay with doing the slow-mo thing, and I think they'd probably be okay with the slow-mo thing too.
CB says captions on. Let's go ahead and take a look at what those captions look like. Another thing that I want to do in the slow-mo shot, I need to take notes real quick, sorry. One of the things that I want to do in the slow motion watch through is the shot when he points out that they can see the girl's bra.
Yeah.
There's some great reaction shots from the extras in that shot where they're all sort of laughing at the thing that he pointed out, and I want to sort of do a breakdown of each of their reactions to Young Sheldon, really exposing that lady.
Sorry, someone just alerted us to the fact that there's a BuzzFeed article about Nick Robinson.
But it's not Nick Robinson.
It's not Nick Robinson, though.
Who is that?
It's the wrong Nick Robinson. So there's actually, I was talking to our sweet boy Nick Robinson about this. There's an actor whose name is Nick Robinson, and people always confuse them.
Yeah.
They don't look alike, but I guess their names. So that's pretty funny.
It looks like YouTube CBS has not elected to upload captions for this video yet, so I'm afraid that we cannot provide that service for you, and I apologize. We are going to switch back to slow-mo for the next playthrough.
Are we watching this at, we're watching it at twice
Yeah, we're
speed.
watching it at double speed, so we'll be through this in 2.5 minutes, and we'll jump back down. I'd say
and then we'll
half
gently
speed.
pull out.
Gently pull out.
And we'll just
drop to half speed.
Drop to half speed.
It's important, like we said, to change up the speed from time to time. Dr. Strangelove says Nick Robinson.
Yeah, that was great. It was pretty good. I also like it's Dr. Strangeloaf. Which Sheldon are you a BuzzFeed quiz?
Russ Frushtick is hanging out in the chat. Hi, Russ.
CBS hates that. Wow. His bow ties, I'm still trying to debate whether they are whether he's actually tied them on or they're clip-on. I think they're clip-ons. And I respect him a little bit less.
I think that, okay, this is a pre-YouTube age, so for me to learn how to tie a bow tie, I would have had to look at a bunch of YouTube tutorials, but I think Sheldon is the kind of character, we've learned this from watching this trailer, how many times now?
I've lost
hard
count.
To tell. Since we started changing the speed, it's harder for us to just divide the team.
Yeah.
The time. I think he seems like the kind of kid who would have looked up how to tie a bow tie.
But how would we, he would have looked up in a magazine, like in GQ?
Magazine, book, he would have had a source. He would have gone to the library and just looked around and not found how to tie a bow tie and eventually gone to the library and said, how do I tie a bow tie? Well, actually, you know what? It does look, it looks a lot like a
South Park
clip-on.
voice.
It looks like a clip-on.
That's my point, is that it does look like a clip-on. He's committed to the idea of wearing a bow tie, but is not committed to the idea to learning how to tie a bow tie. And I don't know what that says about his character. I think we can take a look at that and judge him for it. I love him. He's a very sweet boy. Learn to tie a bow tie.
Can you hand me that can of Coke real quick?
I can, yeah.
So we put the... We got the whiskey to put a little more swing in our thing. We got the Coke to put a little more pep in our step.
You have a headache?
No, I'm just trying to cool myself down.
It
These
is hot
lights
in
are
here.
hot.
Yeah, it's hot in here.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, folks, thank you. This is the Young Sheldon stream. We're dropping down to half speed now. It's all about changing up the speed that you're going at it. And half speed, I think, felt really good. So we're going to drop back down to that. So we're back down to half speed on the Young Sheldon trailer. We are going to be watching this for 200 minutes. We are getting close to the end of our stream. We're closer to the end than we are to the beginning, so thank you for hanging out with us through this experience.
You guys have been amazing.
You've been really amazing. We've loved talking to you, and this is there's been a lot of irony going on here, but genuinely, you guys are fucking amazing for putting up with this.
This started as a joke concept, and then we just did it.
And it's very real now.
Yeah.
So we got a bit more to go in this stream of us watching the Young Sheldon trailer for 200 minutes, which is the exact length of The Godfather 2, reportedly one of the greatest films in film history.
Reportedly. can't
At this point, I
confirm.
have to admit that I have not seen The Godfather 2. I'd say that like my film library, like my canon, the things that I have seen and experienced in the film world are pretty strong, but I have not seen the Godfather films
What would
yet.
you say is your Young Sheldon? And by that I mean, what is the movie that you place above all else? Because Young Sheldon is the TV show we place above all else.
RoboCop.
Interesting. The remake, obviously.
Obviously the remake.
Okay.
No, the original. The original RoboCop by Paul Verhoeven is a perfect film. Predator is up there. As far as perfect films go, Die Hard is up there. I'm a big fan of terse 80s action films that waste no time in their screenplays and pay off every detail that they feed you in the first and second acts. And I feel like
interesting.
Young Sheldon will be one of these shows,
See,
one of these experiences.
The movie I put above all else, and I've seen The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. I've seen all of the top 250 on IMDb because I did that for a summer.
For
Because,
what? You've seen all the top 50
yeah,
movies
I was
ever?
like, it was on IMDb because I was like, oh, I just really want to do something because I have no friends, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch all these movies, and I was really into film. And my favorite movie is still The Mighty Ducks.
Really?
Yeah, Charlie. I have a Charlie
that on the
Conway
top 50?
jersey. I don't even know, but Mighty Ducks is like my go-to movie for everything. I kind of feel like this is like the Mighty Ducks, and that's why I like it so much. Minus the hockey and the Minnesota or Minneapolis, which is Minnesota, I guess. This is cute.
Once again, yeah, this is great. What was the shot that I said I wanted to watch again slow?
You wanted to watch. Oh,
we already watched the top shot slow.
yeah. You want. Oh, the bra shot.
The bra shot. Okay, when we get to the shot where he is in school and he points out that he can see his classmate's bra through her shirt, there's some really good laughing from his classmates that I really want to focus in on because I feel like extra work, the job of extras is often underappreciated in sitcoms, or in this case, single camera dramedies. So we're gonna take a nice focus on them. I might even pause the video and rewind the video so we can examine them in more detail. Have you ever seen the shot of the Friends extra chewing coffee in the background of the shot?
Yes. I do love that everything comes back to Friends because it does. You just have to accept it. Or 30 Rock or Arrested Development, which got a 5th season ordered today, or officially is going forward, so it's exciting.
Oh, Pinky. Hey, Pinky. Yeah, we will do an ASMR playthrough. Should we do the ASMR playthrough at quarters or half speed, or should we do that at full speed?
Full speed. Regular speed, ASMR.
Okay.
I'm going to be very quiet for that. It's just going to be Pat.
Okay. All right, we'll do the ASMR playthrough at full speed.
I will join you guys in the comments for
after
Pat's
this, but
ASMR.
first we must do our reaction shots.
Yeah, Pat seems to think there's something he wants to point out with this bra shot
It's
that I'm hoping
not-
is
not
more
the-
than just the bra
It's
shot.
not the bra shot.
Okay.
You're gonna get. You're gonna get to.
know what that sound was.
You're gonna get to see a bit of the bra in this shot. So that's your prerogative whether you want to focus on the girl's bra through her shirt, or the excellent reaction work going on by the actors hired to play her.
I also
play
got
their peers.
to give you guys shout outs. We're getting a bunch of these posters for the Young Sheldon, which is like Young Pope crossovers. They're so good. Your photoshopping skills, guys.
It's extremely good. Can you please remind me to do the ASMR in the next playthrough, because I am at a point where I'm simply not remembering anything.
Yep, I will remember the ASMR.
Okay.
And also, I feel like our chat is very into the idea of you doing ASMR. So yeah, they're gonna remind us too. Don't worry. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're getting there.
Okay, here we go.
Here. Do you remember what you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the reaction shots here when people laugh at the comment he makes
Okay.
here. Here we go. Here we go. There's some good stuff. A little bit of parting of lips. So the teacher rocking the head. Okay, so I'm sorry. It's the class laughing at the mustache. So let's take a look here at her peers. We've got this guy. He's averting his
Great
gaze.
voice. I mean, great face.
So the great thing about all of these people here is they're all just young Hollywood folks trying to make their big break. Each one of these peoples wants to be the next Jennifer Aniston, the next Ross Geller. They want to be where he's sitting right now.
I like to do it on the end with that dude at the very end on the left. He is the next David Schwimmer, I think.
He is. I'm sorry that I just remembered that I told OBS, our image capture software, not to track the mouse, so you can't see where I'm placing the mouse. So we will work from left to right, right to left in the front row. we have our man in the brown and navy and red striped shirt averting his gaze from his teacher's mustache. He is really cracking up. He thinks that the comment about the mustache was really great. The young lass over to his right, our left, watching this frame in the flannel shirt with the dark hair, is she's got to cup her hand over her mouth to hide her laughter. Really no sense in hiding the laughter when you are this close to the teacher. She can tell what's going on. We have young Sheldon one over, and he's sort of looking around the class, noticing the reaction. He doesn't pick up on social cues so well, so he is probably not entirely sure why everybody is laughing at his comment. The girl to Sheldon's right, our left, I think she might have the strongest future in acting here because her reaction is the most understated.
The blonde one.
The blonde lady in the purple
with the glasses.
shirt.
Got it.
She's, first of all, she's a large presence on the screen. She looks like she's a tall young lady. Her reaction is understated. She's not really hamming it up. She's not like the one in this frame who's like, look at my reaction to this joke. Blah. I think that really speaks highly of her future in the film industry. Boy with his the young lady to her right, forgettable. She's sort of not even in the shot. Young man furthest to the left. No future on this guy. It looks like a fucking D-grade Corey Feldman.
He's got the guy with the spiky hair?
He's got his hair.
That's my next David Schwimmer. I think he's got a future for him.
I think.
And that he's hated on every show he's on.
Holy shit. Adam Goodall points out that he brought a briefcase to school, which we can see now that we've paused this image. He has, in fact, brought a briefcase to school. And in the word, once again, Adam Goodall says Sheldon is the boss baby.
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Adam.
That's an excellent point. If this was 2017, he'd
John
have a switch in it.
says that her reaction strikes me as one of profound sadness. It's killing her to see her teacher disrespected like this, and I feel that too. And I could go through the reactions of the rest of the students, but I'm just going to go for a couple of highlights. I feel like
give us the highlight reel.
The woman in the second row, the young woman in the second row in the flower print shirt covering her mouth, is just sort of doing the same thing the girl in front of her is doing.
Yeah.
Not many points for her. Girl in the pink blouse, directly above and to the right of Sheldon, same deal, not a lot of points. I feel like the young man to her right, however, is giving us an extremely naturalistic reaction. It's one of the best ones, just sort of scanning the crowd that I've seen so far. He legitimately looks like he's laughing at the situation that's going on.
He might actually have found it funny.
Yeah, he might have actually.
He might have been the one actor who was like, yeah, this scene, I like it. It's good.
I love this scene.
Next to Pat and I, because Pat and I really like this scene.
I love it a lot.
Yeah.
And the young man in the, I'd say my worst of goes to the young man in the yellow shirt, in the back row.
Who looks like he's like, oh shit. Yeah.
He's got his fist over his mouth. I'd say he's hamming it up a bit too much. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and circle my second worst of to the boy in the brown and the one who's closest to us. I feel like he's sort of giving us a little too much.
Would you say it was a little too much, a little too late? It's a JoJo reference. It's a singer from
Casey
the
and
early.
JoJo?
You're just going
Casey and
back.
JoJo?
No, I'm talking about like JoJo, the girl who was like MTV.
All right. So that's our breakdown of the reaction shots in the shot where
it's a pretty great breakdown.
He points out her mustache. Sela says, I am leaving the stream. I'm too weak for any more Young Sheldon. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Did you see how
for as long as you did.
awkward his dad looked in this meeting? Because he's not only is he the father, he's like he's the football coach.
Yeah.
So he's like, these are my colleagues
Sort
who
of
then
a
I have to
conflict
deal
of
with.
roles.
This is every sitcom, or not sitcom, but every sports kind of, or any show that has a sports angle. They always have this weird tension between the parent of a problematic child and that parent's relationship with their coworkers. Trope.
That's a very good point. And you watch a lot of TV, so I'm going to
I
take
watch
your
a
word
lot
on
of
it.
TV.
KW says, I just showed up. Can anybody give me a quick synopsis of what the heck is going on? Do you want to take this one?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
I got this. So if you're tuning in now, we are watching 200 minutes. We're closer to the 200-minute mark than when we started of the Young Sheldon's 5-minute preview trailer on loop. We're doing it at half speed, full speed, twice the speed. Pat's about to go in and drop an ASMR voiceover track on it. We're just doing it because we genuinely really are excited for the show.
It wasn't what I was expecting. Like when I think about the legacy of the Big Bang Theory, I think about, adult males mostly cohabitating in an urban setting. together, dealing with dating, dealing with their day jobs and the conflicts that arise from those. I don't really think of a young man going through the struggles of growing up. So I gotta really congratulate CBS on their choice to go with Young Sheldon. Cheers to you.
And if for those just tuning in and wondering why Young Sheldon, which seems like a remarkable show, would get an order in the first place, this is a prequel to The Big Bang Theory, as Pat might have said, and I just didn't hear it. And The Big Bang Theory routinely, in its 10th seasons, which means it's 9 to 10 year on television, gets anywhere between 10 to 20 million live viewers. That's more than any sporting event. That is more than any other series, including The Walking Dead, which comes in second. So CBS wants to make money.
Kills. It slays. It gets out there and it knows exactly what it's doing and it does it well. I haven't seen it. I've only seen that 3-minute clip. To circle back around to the beginning of the stream, one of the things that we talked about was that...
Pinky says, Malcolm in depression. It's good.
In my post-college days, I'm an older man. I'm almost 30. It's hard for me to admit that, but I am nearly 30. In my younger days, shortly out of college, I got a gig working at a GameStop. And the particular GameStop I happened to work at did not have a fiber connection, which meant that our in-store television programming could not be updated. So for the entire 10 months that I worked at that GameStop, through the Christmas season, through the holiday season, and Black Friday season, every day that I went to GameStop was the same 15 to 30-minute loop of programming that included the song, a shortened cut of the song Cape Cod Kwassa Kwassa by... who did that song?
Can't think.
It's
been a day.
Vampire Weekend.
Oh, God. Whatever happened to Vampire Weekend?
They're still around there. And it also included a 3-minute clip from an episode of The Big Bang Theory, which I got to listen to approximately 8 times a day, maybe more than that.
I used to work at a record store, and we had playlists too, and same thing with movies. But at one point, we put on Bill Burr's stand-up, and it was like the greatest thing ever. And our customers hated it.
And where?
I used to work at a record store.
Okay, well, you can do whatever the F you want in a record store.
Yeah, but we still had playlists we had to listen to, because it was like selling music, which, breaking, Amazon.
I love everybody in the chat just shouting out Vampire Weekend when I couldn't.
Guys, Vampire Weekend, though, what happened to them? I need updates. They're around, but what I don't even know. I remember their debut album. Like, that's it. And that was years ago. Sorry, I hit the mic. Years ago.
Hey. That was the song over and over again.
That was like today, a bunch of people were talking about the XX, and I love the XX. And I was like, oh, yeah, the XX.
Wait, what was the XX?
Remember the XX? It was Jamie XX, the British DJ, and he had a band, which was the XX, which made very romantic, loving music, which would often be used in television shows.
Really?
Would not probably be used in Young Sheldon.
I do want to talk about the use of licensed music in this trailer.
That's what I want to talk about, too.
Because there are, in a 5-minute trailer, we've got probably 10 licensed songs.
Yeah.
And I hope we don't get popped on that on the YouTube content recognition. I think most of the samples are probably short enough, and we're talking loudly enough over them for us not to get in trouble with that.
Do you know the one of the most expensive artists? And I interviewed a music.
Oh, sorry, ASMR playthrough.
Oh yeah, we're doing the ASMR. We're doing it. I'm gonna be quiet for this. I'm gonna join you guys in chat.
So should I just narrate it? And
Pat's gonna narrate it.
Every legend. So at this point in the trailer, we are seeing an adult Sheldon solving a math equation, which is an important part of his character as a theoretical physicist. And then we're seeing the supporting characters of the Big Bang universe doing the transitional music to get us into 1989 East Texas. And our first shot of Young Sheldon is certainly not disappointing as he places a train tunnel and uses what appears to be a Nerf ball and an electric and a remote control setup to test some theoretical physics. But young Sheldon is very excited for his supper, and he rushes to the living room where his father is waiting.
I was exploring dimensional kinematics.
Admit it, he's adopted.
His father does not relate to his interest in physics, and neither does the rest of his family.
That's enough. Now let's pray.
A moment, please.
Leave him be.
He can hold hands with his family.
Now we see Sheldon putting on his mittens,
None of your business.
which he uses to avoid direct skin-to-skin contact with the rest of his family, who you can only assume that he loves, but he's got a lot of his hang-ups that he needs to get over, and perhaps we'll see him get over those hang-ups over the course of the series. What we know about his brother is that his brother appears to be athletic. He's got a mullet. He's wearing a baseball-style shirt. His sister, his twin sister, we find, is a little bit sassy, and Dad just seems like he can't be bothered by the whole thing. When the food starts flying, Sheldon is careful to place a napkin over his food to avoid contamination from his unruly family.
Don't let him get stuffed in a gym bag.
I'm being told I need to lower the sound of Sheldon slightly, so let's do that. So here we see Sheldon frightened by the wolf, which is the mascot of the high school he's participating in as a 9-year-old. We don't typically see 9-year-olds participating in 9th grade, but Sheldon is an especially gifted student. But those gifts come with drawbacks. For example, he is not good at recognizing social cues as he points out his classmate's bra and his teacher's mustache. Here we are seeing Sheldon's various teachers reacting to his uncouth reactions in their class, and here we are in church, where Sheldon is about to tell us a little bit about his testicles. Sheldon is being encouraged by his mother not to wear his trademark bow tie to 9th grade, and here he is without that bow tie. Whether or not that's a plot arc has yet to be established. I hope that he continually wears his bow tie because I feel like it's a good character quirk. In 1989, has the film Pee-wee's Big Adventure come out yet? Julia, can you verify that for me?
I'm gonna look it up for you. Pee-wee's Big Adventure has definitely come out by this point.
So Pee-wee's Big Adventure is already out at this point in history, so it's possible that wearing that bow tie would encourage unwelcome comparisons to Pee-wee Herman from young Sheldon's classmates that he might want to avoid. Here we see Sheldon's dad with an unexpected haircut for his character, but I think a haircut that really sort of supports the inner warmth that he carries. And once again, the emotional climax of the trailer is Sheldon's father explains to him the reason that they are no longer, that they had to move to Galveston, and it was because his father had too much integrity, and it got him in trouble. And here we see, once again, that emotional climax where Sheldon is able to remove his glove and make skin-to-skin contact with his father, a thing that has been difficult for many of us. It's truly a beautiful moment, but of course this is a comedy show as well as a drama, so we get to see his brother cramming tater tots into his gullet. This has been your ASMR playthrough of the Young Sheldon trailer, and we will now return to half speed.
Wow.
Was that okay?
I think everyone's a little turned on in the chat.
A little turnt.
Like things getting turnt. Getting lit. I don't know what kids say anymore. That was very well done. People are super into your ASMR voice.
Thanks.
I would love the tot shot just on like a loop. Like loop it for like an hour.
I want to analyze that tot shot a little bit more towards the end of the episode.
I'm super into that. No. We're at 2 minutes and 54 seconds.
So we have 25 minutes, right?
Someone do the math for us. 120 plus. Yeah, that makes sense. I think.
All right. So 120 minutes plus.
Hold on. What?
We are too drunk for math, even really simple math.
It is. We're at 174 minutes. So yeah, 25 minutes.
Cowboys. Brendan Fenimore asks how often politics will show up on Young Sheldon. I think that's a good question. Knowing what I know about
question.
Chuck Lorre and the brand of entertainment that they are bringing from The Big Bang Theory, I will venture to say not often at all.
I don't know. They'll make a couple snide jokes. I think the most political Chuck Lorre ever got was probably in, again, Mama Sai, which is his best show, 2.5 Men. Chuck Lorre does these things at the end of all of his shows, or at least he's done 2.5 Men. I don't know if he still does them, where he put notes and like these kind of cards. Towards the end of 2.5 Men, they became very famous because they would take stabs at oh my god, people name Charlie Sheen, and so they became famous for that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna get political. This is also a CBS family show. This is gonna be on at 9 p.m. on Thursday evenings. It's super family oriented. It's the Modern Family of CBS.
Mr. asks, how will Young Sheldon tackle the Gulf War?
This is an excellent question.
That's a very good
This is a very good question. I'm not sure.
Excellent question. I think that with the same way we all tackled the Gulf War, which is just blind optimism. So for me, it was a little bit different. As you're Canadian,
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm just literally looking this up.
you are from Toronto. You're from a more peaceful country than mine. During the Gulf War, I was actually I'm from a military family. I was stationed overseas in Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my exposure to the Gulf War is almost entirely positive. It was like a war we were just kind of kicking ass. Like only like a couple of us died, and it was mostly just like us goofing up on bases and like people getting hit by like supply trucks or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe
Casual accidents.
just like the sort of accidents that happen when you have a bunch of people deployed somewhere. People are gonna die no matter where you are.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should stop talking about this because I don't actually know what I'm talking about, and I don't want to say anything I shouldn't.
To be fair, people just die. That's just
die.
life. That's life. Not to get
But I feel like the
depressing.
Gulf War was not a war that had the same sort of like national pushback that wars since have had, because I don't think it was as messy. And I should not be discussing these sort of topics when I'm as drunk as I am. So we're going to move on, but I do not believe that they will address the Gulf War in any sort of critical way.
I'm not going to address it. Just going to take a second to shout out my Canadians who are shouting me out. Thanks, yo. High five, Canada. To Nicholas Charlton says, if you're Canadian, show us your green card. Don't have a green card, have a visa, which in this era is a thing. But yeah, what up, Torontonians? Hey, dog. There's a dog. Did we miss a dog? Has there been a dog?
Is there a dog?
We missed the dog?
Did we miss a dog?
What? Great, people.
Corey Sauer says that the Gulf War was just a bit of a goof. It was a prank.
Wait, people in the chat, did we miss a dog?
Did we miss a dog?
I'm gonna be really upset if we play this at the
There's a
quarter
dog.
speed. No, that's like a wolf.
A wolf. A member of the family can die, but not a dog, in fact.
That's what this show's missing. The show's missing a pet.
Oh,
There's no family dog or cat.
JJ or Jai Jai, depending on how we want to pronounce it, says, will there be a Son of Sheldon series?
Is it like Son of Zorn, the show that ran on Fox for like 8 episodes? Son of Sheldon. It's a great name. Kind of makes me think of Son of Sam though. That was not as great. I don't know. The thing is, there's all these possibilities. If this show does as well as The Big Bang Theory, spoiler alert, it won't. But if it comes even close to that, CBS is not going to want to kill off anything related to it. So we may get an old Sheldon, a baby Sheldon, a Sheldon's older brother story, which I'm obsessed with this kid. I don't know why. There's something about him. I think his older brother, although he pretends to be a jock, is really a goth at heart.
All right, we got to get honest for a second here.
What are we honest about?
Are you into Sheldon's older brother?
I can 100% confirm I'm not into Sheldon's older brother. If I was a teen, I definitely would have dated probably would have dated the kid with the dreads that I would keep hating on. That's probably who I would have ended up dating.
Once again, John Dudebro, who has been a loyal and not just loyal but thoughtful member of the chat all night says, no, there was no dog because putting a dog in Young Sheldon would remind the viewers that the dog is dead by the time Big Bang Theory happens, and it would be depressing, which I have to agree with.
That is intense.
And that's the dark secret of all entertainment is any of your favorite film dogs that are
dead.
More than a couple years ago are dead.
They're long gone. And whatever happened to Marcel?
Marcel the monkey?
Marcel the monkey and Friends.
He could still be out there. The thing with primates that I've heard is that the older and smarter they get, the more dangerous they get.
That's a good question. I mean, we're seeing this in
that's the
War
case
for the
with like
Planet of
most
the Apes.
Hollywood chimps.
Yeah.
Is like most Hollywood chimps have their Hollywood careers as very young chimps when they're impressionable and you can make them do whatever you want them to do. Then when they get older and smarter and stronger, they become extremely willful and dangerous.
The best thing about, speaking of monkeys and chimps in general, there is a new poster for an upcoming movie called War for the Planet of the Apes. And all these monkeys are, naked as you are as a monkey, except for this one who's wearing what seems to be like a cut-off jean jacket.
Yeah.
And he's kind of my favorite character ever. But I'm going to ask a question.
In the War for the Planet of the Apes?
He's like...
I saw the trailer for that where all the apes are holding guns, and I was like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
this is like my kind of
I'm
movie.
totally into the war, but I'm going to answer John Dudebro. But would you date Sheldon's dad? Hells yes. That is like daddy figure right there. I mean, I'm no daddy expert. We'll leave that to Simone to judge when she comes back. But I would 100% date his dad.
Do you think that he'd be a giving lover?
Would he be a giving lover or would I be a giving lover? Yeah, that makes more sense. No, he'd want to he'd be like quick about it. He'd be like, okay,
Top chop.
missionary position, 5 minutes, and then we're gonna watch like Daily Show and go to bed.
Right, he strikes me as the kind of guy who loves procreation but enjoys sex
like,
less.
yeah, he just fucks because he needs to have children.
Brendan Fenimore, thank you so much for your keen eye. This is the sort of stuff that we should be catching. Why are they the only children at church?
Yeah, especially in an East Texas town.
In an East Texas town, because when I used to go to church, one of the things that would always stick out to me was like, there's a lot of flipping kids here. There's always a crying baby in church. There's
Always a crying
four
baby.
crying babies in
And someone
church.
coughing, an elderly person coughing.
Yeah, an old person coughing and a
Always.
bunch of crying babies. You're constantly reminded of life, birth and death when you go to church. Yeah, why are they the only kids at church?
That's a good question. Is it that they are the only kids, or is it that we just cannot see the other kids? Because it's kind of a tight shot. It's only on 2 pews.
That's true. It's only a
We don't
2 pew
know.
shot. In our next playthrough, we'll try to pay attention to see if there are any other kids in church. Folks are in the chat. Ace D asks, where's Simone? Simone's in France.
Simone's in France. She's visiting family. She, again, people know, it's as on, we tweet about it a lot. Simone and I live together. When Simone is coming back is the other question. I don't know. I'm sorry, hit the mic. I don't know when Simone is coming back. And I feel like a terrible friend and a worse roommate for that. But Simone will be back, I believe, next week, I think. So don't worry.
Reaver Bro says maybe Sheldon ate the other children. What if this had a Hannibal-style subplot?
Oh, directed by Brian Fuller? I'd be into it.
Would you? Okay, fuck. A Fuller-directed Big Bang Theory spinoff.
With, far less nudity, but for this.
More nudity.
For young Sheldon, maybe if it was just the dad. Maybe it was just Sheldon's dad. I mean, he's got a stare of a man that I appreciate, I think. He wants to talk about football, which means he just wants to talk about dudes' butts. And I feel like we have that in common.
Football is a strategic game. It's like human chess out there. I don't know anything about football other than that punting is not always good.
And Dwayne Brady deflated one.
Dwayne
Brady.
Dwayne Brady?
Tom Brady.
Dwayne Brady?
Tom Brady.
Who the fuck is Dwayne Brady?
Tom Brady deflated one.
Where did you get Dwayne from Tom? Tom, like one of the 3 names.
I think I was gonna say, and he did play football. I think I was gonna say Dwayne Johnson, and then was like, no, Brady. Tom Brady deflated a football. Yeah, see, Paleo Nerd says it's a butt sport. It's totally a butt sport. You just look at people's butts. You hit people's butts.
Baseball's a butt sport too.
Oh, baseball's a butt sport too. All sports are about butts. Why you wear tight clothes?
Pinky says, Young Sheldon looks young but has grown man eyes, which is true.
It's so true.
That's what it is.
It's so true. I think, what if Tom Brady has a son named Dwayne Brady?
Hope Dremore says Dwayne the Ball Brady, which is very, very good The Rock joke. How do you feel about The Rock possibly being our president?
As someone who cannot vote, I mean, good. I mean, at this point, you could say things like, how do you feel about literally any other person in this country being our president? And it's like, good. Very good.
Yeah.
I feel very good about it. I'm biased. I'm Canadian, as I've said multiple times. Our prime minister is like super good looking and really charming and like a kind human. So it's like,
And he's a good boxer too. Have you ever seen his boxing match?
He's a good boxer. He also stripped for charity, and he's a great stripper.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
All great facts about your prime minister.
Yeah.
And
who would very much be into Young Sheldon, I think. He's a family guy.
I want, and here's Pat's take, Dwayne The Rock Johnson as president. Yes, it's a thing that I can see very clearly because Rock has incredible brand recognition. He has a Hollywood career behind him. John Cena as president would be miles better.
How would you see him?
Miles better.
You can't vote for him if you can't see him.
That's true. You can't vote for him if
He
you
would
can't
just
see
be
him.
hiding. He would be pulling a Sean Spicer in the Bushers.
I genuinely think, I'm going on record, I am drunk. I have been watching the young, what's this kid's name?
Young Sheldon.
I've been watching the Young Sheldon trailer for more than 2 hours now, but I genuinely think John Cena would be a better presidential candidate than any president we've had run since I was born.
Who is your... Okay, let's bring it. Let's try it. Let's bring it back to Young Sheldon. Who are the top wrestlers in 1989? Pat's knowledge of wrestling is very impressive.
In 1989?
Who were top... Let's go WWE.
So 1989 was a weird transitional period in professional wrestling where we were getting towards the big steroid scandal of the 1990s that resulted in the push or the prominence of a lot of smaller guys like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. So in 1989, though, we're probably still looking at Hogan. It was still the Hogan-Andre era of professional wrestling. I'm not going to bore y'all, but it's still a lot of the people that you think of when you think of 1980s wrestling. It's Randy Savage, Doink the Clown. I don't think.
Oh, Randy Savage, yeah.
But we're probably starting to see guys like Big Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon.
But Sheldon wouldn't be a wrestling fan. I
Sheldon
don't think
would
he'd
not be a
into
professional.
it.
His
No.
dad wouldn't be either because
No.
his dad when his dad would see professional wrestling, he'd be like, you know that shit's fake, right? Sheldon is not a professional wrestling fan. His big brother, maybe.
I think his brother would be very into the actual wrestling. Like he would join the wrestling team. He'd be washing his weight, want to be in a certain weight class. I feel like if anyone's into wrestling, it's the mom. I think the mom is 100% a wrestling fan. She's there rooting for, who'd you say, Randy Savage?
Randy Savage.
She's
would
there
be active
rooting
at
for
this
Randy
time.
Savage. I feel like we might get a shot of wrestling in this series, if only because it's 1989.
Rockin' wrestling.
Also, the mom kind of looks like a young, and maybe it's just the slow down version. Maybe it's that we're delirious. The mom kind of looks like a young Meryl Streep. And she's very pretty.
She does.
Yeah, there's like a Meryl Streep aspect to her face, and that's awesome.
And I love that classic shot we just saw there with the gentle. And there it is. There's the face that I love. There's that face I
She's
love.
so
We're gonna
cute.
back up and watch it again.
Wait, hold on. Nubosaurus, great name. I used to do Osaurus in all my names. John Cena would be our second WWE wrestler president. Think about that. Who's the first?
I know.
Or maybe they're thinking after Dwayne Johnson.
After Dwayne
Maybe
Johnson.
after Johnson, yeah.
I mean, we have had Jesse Ventura. Jesse the Body Ventura was the governor of Minnesota for a brief period of time, and he was a former WWE wrestler and now is the host of the television show Conspiracy Theory. Let's go back to that wonderful face acting by Young Sheldon. I pointed this out earlier in the stream. This is one of the only points we get to see him really doing his acting thing without his mouth moving, and it's a really wonderful moment for all of us.
He's good. He's good. Trump was on WWE?
Oh shit, Trump is in the WWE Hall of Fame.
What?
And he had a match with Vince McMahon.
Oh, that makes sense. But that would have been a great match.
It was a hair versus hair match, which meant whoever lost was going to get their head shaved. And of course, Vince McMahon lost and had to get his hair shaved. And he looked like a shaved rat.
Here we have a question from Brendan Fenimore. Easy question to answer. I'm going to take this one. It's cool with you. At Polygon, why is there one empty seat at the dinner table? What do you think happened? Easy answer. They sell things in sixes. So you get 6 chairs at a table, usually. At least they do where I'm from. You get 6 chairs. If you have a family of 5, you're going to have an empty chair. Good to know. I used to work at IKEA for like a summer.
Really?
And most things are sold in 6s, not 4s or 2s.
That's interesting.
Yeah, for family stuff. Because I think the idea was like you'd have 2 kids and then guests. Like that was always the idea. So they always sell things in 6s.
Good to know. Great shot of those goths there in slow motion. We're still watching this in slow motion, so if you're just tuning in, folks, we are...
It's 3:09.
We are 3 hours in to our Young Sheldon stream.
3 hours and 10 minutes.
3 hours and 10 minutes into
10
our
minutes.
Young Sheldon stream. We've been watching this trailer repeatedly.
In different versions, different, I should say, speeds.
Different speeds.
Yep.
Currently, we're watching it at half speed, which is the slowest speed we can watch it at which YouTube will preserve its audio track. That guy has the same hair as me. It's at a weird length
He does not
right
have
now.
the hair, same hair
It's the
as
same
you.
hair. It's at a weird length right now.
Look at it. This kid is Kirk Cameron, man. I need everyone to watch Growing Pains and then come back next week.
And a little bra shot there if you're horny.
Honestly, he's a cute kid. I'm a big fan of him. Although he, I guess, looks his age, like he looks 9 years old. The rest of the teenagers, as you have on any show, do not look like teenagers. Like, some of these kids look like they're 20 years old. I'm really excited that CBS has another family show that looks this sweet coming to it. Also, that guy in the background, can we rewind for a second? There's a guy in the background behind this teacher, him, but he's just kind of standing there in the background for a second, and he's terrifying. Go there, watch, look, when she starts yelling.
Yeah, he's got his hands in his pockets.
And then look, he's just like, look at it, that's disturbing. That's like salad fingers level creepy.
So that just smacks to me of a supporting actor wanting to get his face in the shot a little bit more.
He's like,
this is a character these are 2 characters we haven't been introduced to yet, and I'd love to learn a little bit more about them, which subjects they teach. I believe the woman who went to Oral whatever university is his English teacher for some reason. I think the lady with the mustache is his science teacher. Do you think he's going to have an adversarial relationship with his science teacher because he knows more about science than she does?
I think he absolutely is. I think that's definitely going to come up, and he's going to be the smart aleck kid. In many ways, he's going to be like Danny Pudi in Community when he takes the Who's the Boss class. And he's like, no, you're wrong. I just know more about you. And there's a really great emotional arc in that. And I think we'll see that here, where he has to learn how to be human while still being the smartest kid in the class, smartest person in the class.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like what we see him trying to connect with his father. He's going to try to connect with his classmates, hopefully the Goths, hopefully.
Right here we see that he obviously needs to connect a little bit better with his sister who wants to watch DuckTales
Oh, this is
when
the
he's
best
watching
moment.
Mr. Wizard or Science or whatever.
Honestly, I think the sister might be, next to my favorite dad, I think she might be my favorite character. Like, she's so great.
I think she's got a bright future in acting.
I mean, she's only like 9.
Oh, shit. Sorry, we got to back up here and see if there's any other children in church. Cause,
yeah, let's figure that out.
Catmoth said that they thought they saw another child in the church. So let's back up and see that first establishing shot at the church. To learn. Small Wonder. That's the name of another 80s sitcom.
There you go. Okay.
All right, so
there's a kid. There's a kid back there.
So there is Young Sheldon.
There's a kid back there. There's someone who looks like the Pope hanging out.
Where's the Pope?
Okay, look to the back to the right.
To the back
with the white and all white with like right
the
there.
Hat?
No, right in front of him.
The all white.
He kind of looks like he's the Pope.
Where's the other kid? 'Cause I've never seen
There's a
him.
kid. There.
That?
That's a kid. That's 100% a kid. Also, I think there's a kid beside his dad a little bit to the left. There, I see some kids.
There is a kid, but it's not enough. Oh, there's a kid right there.
Yeah,
This kid looks
there's a
exactly like
kid.
every other kid I ever saw in church.
Imagine if they this was
There's a
pre-cell
kid.
phones too, so this was like they had to pay attention.
So can I tell you about what I did in church?
I absolutely want to hear about this.
Are you Catholic?
I was born and raised Catholic. Yep.
So I went to Catholic church as a young man. The only thing I ever did in church was think about Super Mario Bros. 3.
So why? What was it? Because it was a holy game for you? Why
Yeah.
specifically Super Mario Bros. 3?
So because SNE. So I think most of my time when I was cognizant about being in church. That's not the right word. When I was conscious of being in church and having to pass time to get through church was shortly after I got my SNES and Super Mario All-Stars and Super Mario
Great game.
Bros. 3, I think, is the game that challenged me the most and haunted me the most. So it's pretty much, whenever I was in Catholic church, I was pretty much just thinking about the desert levels of Super Mario Bros. 3.
That's pretty cute. That's pretty cute. I think when I was in church, we were, what's the phrase? Like traveling Catholics, or it was like vacationing Catholics. You went Easter, Christmas.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know you.
So
I know
my
your
mom,
type.
who was like super claustrophobic, we'd go for 10 minutes. She would dip her hand in the holy water, do the sign of the cross, and be like, okay, let's go get some
Hail Mary, full of
cannoli.
grace.
We're Italian.
Hell yeah. Wait, you did cannolis after your church service?
I grew up in, so the best way to describe my high school, you couldn't get like slices of pizza, but you could get shots of espresso with Zambuca in it.
God damn.
It was super Italian. So like there were cannolis everywhere. You just went to wherever. So we always used to get cannoli.
Teddy says when I was a kid, I used to leave early to set up the coffee hour.
Yeah.
Yo, coffee, donuts,
Yeah, the
Dunkin'
coffee hour.
Donuts after church, some of the best shit in the world. Loving this Catholic talk.
Because they're Catholic, man. This is well, we assume they're Catholic. We actually
No,
don't know.
they could be Southern Baptist.
They could be Southern Baptist.
We didn't hear anything
Yeah.
from out of their priest's mouth that would tell us either way what they were. I had a brief period as an altar boy.
Really?
I was the worst altar boy ever.
Like, as in you were just very bad at your job, or you just were bad?
As I was just a satanic presence in the church.
Sure.
No, I was very, very bad at my job. I was, let's say I was a bit of a Sheldon. I had a hard time with social cues. I had a hard time knowing what I was supposed to be doing at any given point.
Yeah.
So when you're an altar boy, there's a lot of very specific things that you need to do. You need to fold up the Jesus napkin in a certain way so that like the little embroidered cross is in a certain corner of it. You need to get up and sit down at certain times. Our priest had to give me cues for everything. Like I would just be fucking sitting there like looking at the sky thinking about Super Mario 3. And he'd be like, Patrick, I need the fucking cup of wine right now, dude. Dude, I need the fucking sacrament.
The sacrament. So you had,
Go
oh
over
man.
to the fucking tabernacle and get
I
me
feel
that
like
fucking
this. I
sacrament,
feel like what we're
kid.
saying here, Pat, is that this show is going to bring back a lot of feelings for us. Because we were both kind of raised similarly, and I feel like there's scenes where they go to church.
Yeah.
I like, by the way, that they
I'm
have.
sorry,
just
yeah,
the-
we should keep it focused on the
I like
stream.
that
I'm
they
so
have.
sorry, folks.
I like that they have just the shot of plain white Dempster bread. Like there's nothing to go with it. It's just plain white Dempster bread, not toasted. Just like, hey, we didn't really have buns.
What are you calling it?
Dempster? Like
Dempster?
You guys have Dempsters down here?
So okay, I think what you call Dempster bread in Canada,
Yeah.
we call Wonder bread. In the
Oh
United
yeah, you guys
States.
have. So we have Dempster. Yeah. So the Wonder bread. So it's like just plain white Wonder bread instead of like buns.
Brendan Fenimore says they're Lutheran, which I could see. Yeah, I could see them being Protestant too. I could see them being a strong Protestant stock.
I just assume. Yeah, I assume like Southern Baptist is good because it's Texas, and there's just that makes a lot of sense. We don't actually know. Tot shot freeze frame.
Tot shot freeze
Oh
frame.
yeah, see you get me, Logan Wilson. I just want the tot shot on repeat. It's so good.
Yeah, 1 second. I gotta do some math real quick.
We're Ollie the Deer says we're shout out to Ollie the Deer as one of the people, and like Pinky and other people like Palo Nerd who've been around since like the very beginning. Like shout out to you guys. Hope that we've made a decent Wednesday for you. God, but old Sheldon's so annoying. Like regular Sheldon.
So okay, I think this is
I hate
so
him.
we are at 3 minutes and 17. Sorry, 3 hours and 17 minutes of the stream, which means we are a short handful of minutes away from the end of our stream for tonight. We have, if you are just tuning in, I'm sorry, there's going to be a long archive for you to watch through here. We have been watching the Young Sheldon trailer, a new series coming to CBS very soon. We've been watching this for 200 minutes. We're approaching our wrap up now. And we hope that you've had a wonderful time. We've had a wonderful time experiencing
such
this
a good
trailer
night.
with you. Julia, it's been wonderful sharing this experience with you.
It's been so good hanging out with you and drinking here as opposed to hanging out and drinking with you in a bar.
It's way cheaper.
It's so much cheaper.
But I feel like we've grown closer. I feel like I've learned some stuff about you. I feel like I've learned a lot from our folks in the chat.
Yeah.
And your endurance and your dedication to this means so much to me. There was a discussion literally until 6 minutes after the stream was supposed to have started about whether or not we should actually do it.
It was a large discussion. I'm glad that we push through with that.
It was a philosophical discussion about the direction of our YouTube channel and what should and should not be on it.
It was
with our supervisors. It was stressful.
A conversation about what exactly is the Young Sheldon. I kind of want to call it the Young Sheldon.
Yeah, the Young Sheldon.
The Young Sheldon.
But I'm very glad that we did this with you. You've all been super wonderful. We're about a minute away from the end of this Young Sheldon trailer. I think we're going to get one more tot shot, and then we're going to wrap it up. Any closing thoughts? So I think the question that I wanted to pose to you was, do you prefer Young Sheldon or Old Sheldon?
Young Sheldon always. Young Sheldon and his dad. What up? You? Young Sheldon or Old Sheldon?
I'm going to go with the Young Sheldon because this experience right here that we've had tonight has been formative for me. It's been meaningful. I feel like I've learned and grown.
You were getting teary for a second. I was like, the delirium is kicking in.
I feel stronger than I was at the beginning of the stream. I feel like in the future when I'm faced with challenges, like watch the Young Sheldon trailer for 200 minutes, I will be stronger and more confident in my ability to handle those challenges. It's been really good. It's been really, really good. We're gonna get to the end of this half-speed playthrough of the trailer, and then we're gonna call the stream over.
We're gonna get one more tater tot shot, guys.
We're gonna get one more tater tot shot.
Let's make it count.
Good luck with your finger painting. You're gonna get your ass kicked in high school.
Thanks to everybody in the chat who's been hanging out. Pinky, Joe Dubro, who's the other guy who's making all the good posts? Deer something. Your profile's the Deer. Everybody who's been hanging out. You're all wonderful. Daniel Willis, Adam Goodall, Geneva Perez, Tate Howe, Jay Warden, Pat O'Donnell, Pinky, Adam Goodall, John Dudebro, Asathine,
Sierra Fly, Adam Goodall again, Luke Ramatri, Mr. Nubosaurus, Just a Cat, Ariun, JJ. Thank you guys all. Nero.
You gave us the strength to do this.
This is between you and our good friends Knob Creek.
Our friend Knob Creek.
Our friend Knob Creek.
Thank you, Knob Creek. Thank you, Allegra Frank, for letting us drink all of your whiskey.
We appreciate it. We appreciate you giving us your whiskey.
Give us the tots.
We gotta get through the trailer first.
So that punk haircut is a what's it called when something doesn't come from the time period it should be in?
Oh, it starts with an A.
It's not asynchronous.
No, it's
I'm too drunk to remember.
Yeah, it's gonna bother me. I know it starts with an A. I can't remember.
That girl's pregnant. We don't get to see the pregnant girl. I wonder if that's because they couldn't get a pregnant actor. They couldn't get a fake pregnancy suit in time to get that shot.
It could also be in the actual pilot. This is the thing. This isn't the show. This is just the trailer. This is just the preview of what is to come. We're still going to have 22 weeks of Young Sheldon.
22 weeks and 22 minutes at a time. Because that's the thing. We've been watching a 5-minute condensed version of this pilot. There is 22 minutes of good-ass Young Sheldon content every week for us.
Every week. He's going to have emotional arcs. There's going to be jokes. There's going to be shots of Sheldon's dad.
Anachronism. Everybody in the chat is saying anachronism. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Anachronistic.
Anarchism. Arachnophobic. Says
Antichrist. Yeah,
Mountain.
that's a good one. The goth kids are Antichrist. Oh, there's Salad Fingers is back. I hate him so much. I feel like the more we watch it, the creepier things become, but also the cuter other things become. Like Sheldon's dad.
Sheldon's dad is one of the things that I want to take with me. And I do want to back up for just a second because there is a very subtle bit of storytelling here that I don't want to overlook, which is the scar on the forearm of his person that I've guessed is his English teacher.
Oh.
She's got a scar on her forearm.
Could it be a burn? Could scar?
Could just be, actually that does look like a position you'd have a burn in if you're reaching into an oven to pull out a frozen pizza.
Or if you've ever had a straightener fall on your arm when it's hot, which I've had multiple times. Not fun to deal with.
I'm only 9 years old.
He's so cute.
He's a cute
like, how do you not root for him?
He's just got to work on the eyes a little bit. He's not giving me a lot of humanism through his eyes.
Look how adorable. Oh, somebody was asking how do you say his name. It's just Ian. It's spelled E-A-I-N, but it's just Ian.
Let's get one more round on this chat before we close it up. One of the recurring themes of this stream has been the idea that Young Sheldon is going to constantly be attempting to establish a catchphrase as powerful as Bazinga, but never quite landing on it. So the end of each episode, he's going to present us with a failed Bazinga. So let's just get one more round of failed Bazingas from the chat.
Give us your best examples. Zimbabwe will not count.
No more Zimbabwe. We've had
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe so many times. I think we've had Bazoinga too many times. But other than Zimbabwe or Bazoinga, go all out. Give us your best failed Bazinga to wrap up this wonderful stream.
And before we gently pull out.
And I have to say, the thing that makes me the saddest is that this chat is going to be lost like tears in rain.
This is such a good chat. I was literally just commenting on how YouTube chats, they used a fake one during a conference today, and I was like, no one chats like that. Our chat is so good.
Yeah, you guys are fucking amazing.
All right, let's read some of these. Oh my god.
Anachronism baked.
Bojangles, Banoffee, Brandon DeWitt.
Babadoo.
Oh my god.
They're coming so quickly, I can't read them. Bartholomew.
They're all so good. Okay, Bernardo,
Mozambique, Blapplebloop, Gringo.
We could just say, make noise at this point, it would make sense.
Yeah. Baby Bop, that's a good one.
Bojack Horseman, nice. That was good.
Bart, Babadook, Bodacious. Testicles.
Marengo.
Bisexual.
Bad boy. Oh my god.
Bajimbo. Bo. Isn't that the name of an anime? Baresticles.
Big Gumbo. Berzingas.
Bionicle. Bionicle's a great one. Blampart.
Oh, you're on the same page.
Yeah. Bojack Horseman. Bunzy.
is good. Guys, these are all fantastic.
These are all so fucking good.
Please tweet them at CBS directly. For catchphrases. Us.
Tweet them at us and CBS.
At pizza_suplex.
Pizza_suplex.
At loudmouth Julia. Just tweet us with your best ones. We love these all. Oh, we're gonna have the last emotional moment. And then a final. I think the best way to end it. A final tot shot.
Final tot shot.
Yeah. We're gonna end it on the best way possible with the shot of his dad, who I love, and tater tots, which I also love. So, good times.
I'm so fucking hungry. I could go for some tots.
Yeah, tots sound amazing right now.
These pauses are just so pregnant in the slow-mo.
He's like, he almost looks condescending, even though he's very sincere, but like slowed down, it's just like, well, what do you know?
You're just a fucking kid.
You're just a 9-year-old genius.
Slow zoom. Bert, Egon thought.
Oh, guys, this is the moment. He's gonna take his glove off. He's just gonna put his hand right on his dad's.
Ollie the deer says plurp. Bart Simpson. Bader tots. Beef. Zooey Mama. I really like from Tim Lesher. Thanks, Tim.
Oh, here we go. Give us that. Give us them good tots. Give us them good tots.
I wouldn't touch my brother's.
He looks disgusted by the tater tots, which is the wrong
Trundle
reaction.
says Bill Ponderosa. Stephen K says vagina.
Slow zoom.
Slow zoom. Shoot the two.
Oh, there it is. Oh, the tot shot.
Let's go back to that tot shot one more time.
Let's do this. Let's do it.
Thanks to the invention of pure.
Drop down to 0.25 for tot shot.
Yeah, do it up.
Once again, thank you everybody out there for hanging out with us for this
amazing
3-hour and 30-minute stream of the Young Sheldon stream. Fingers crossed CBS doesn't come after us and tell us to take this down.
We won't.
If not, the archive will be up. Please get on there. Leave
on
some
Daily
nice
Motion.
On Daily Motion. The archive will be up on dailymotion.com. Please, once this archive is up, your comments are going to disappear, which is going to be the saddest thing to me in the world.
But nothing makes us happier than your comments.
Yeah, nothing makes us happier than your comments. So please, when this video becomes an archive, which will probably be in an hour or two, get on there and just leave your favorite, leave us your best theoretical failed bazinga, and we will appreciate you and love you forever. This has been the weirdest, best night of my life.
Hands down, same.
Julia, it's been an honor.
You. Best night, my bud.
Best night. And you out there, thank you so much for hanging out. Have a lovely night.
Bye, guys.
I'm trying to find the way to end the stream. Have a lovely night.